Yeah.
Mhm.
I think, see how long it takes somebody to figure it out.
Mm. Didn't take too long. They'll be like, he has hair.
They don't.
He was like, he has hair. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Don't forget the high five. Like, oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. It always sounds weird. I don't like doing that self-wise. So good to see everybody. And we'll get a lot of that. Oh, God, yeah. Good stuff. So, let's see here. People, that's good. Toy people. I like that one. It's good to see everybody coming in. It's going to be a very, very packed show. Got lots of great guests, lots of good topics. So we should probably start, right? Let's just go right now. That way we can get him on or everybody on and be able to get our stuff. A little behind the scenes. My dog is licking my leg right now. So, all right, hey, come on. All right, so let's start this off.
You said dog.
I know, right? Yeah, it could have been worse, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could have been worse. All right. So, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 153 of the Hangout, where we give you positive insight in the world of collecting a very chill and relaxed atmosphere. My name is Paige, and I'm also joined by two of my partners in crime, Mr. Michael Cory and Mr. Cory Christopher. How you guys doing? Good?
Great.
Fantastic, man. I'm frozen here in Michigan. Other than that, I'm doing okay.
It's very cold. I imagine. Oh, anything special happen? Anything newsworthy?
I did get Snake Eyes today, but I didn't pick him up yet. He is
you had to get him
Walgreens waiting to be rescued
from the snow.
Man, dude, it's bad when you don't even want to get back outside to go get something like that. It's. I was like, I'll just get it tomorrow. I'm not going back out in that for nothing.
He's got Timber. He met Timber in the snow, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
With the Weather Dominator episode. Was it the Weather Dominator or the
one where they had the thing where like it's all like snowing and they went in the snowsuits? Do you see that comic? Remember they were like and they had the Arctic one?
Yeah.
That one was good too. Well, like I said, packed show tonight. Lots of good stuff to talk about. Hi. So it makes it even more natural.
I know, right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So again, tonight's really packed. Got a lot of all-stars. The reason why is because I was told that the show's a 3-star show. So yeah, there are 4 more people. Now we got 7. So it's a 7-star show. Hopefully that'll kick in. TopCons for tonight. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Remember how it is? You want to make sure it's all good like that. But tonight, what we're going to talk about mainly is present, screen save. I had it pulled up on the remember we were cyber stalking Brandon's IG. I still had that put up, so let's make sure we got boom. All right, look at that. It's just plastered with graphics. All right,
looks good.
So yeah, it was a throw together really quick. So TopCons tonight. So yeah, right. As I just took a bunch of shit and just threw it at it. So TopCons tonight got news and notes. We'll talk about NECA, Jada Toys, Hasbro, and I guess we'll talk about Mezco. The main topic for tonight will be Mezco ToyzFair wrap up. Like I said, got 4 people come in, give their expertise. I got Brendan Deichler. You probably know him as either Posable Productions or Batman the Articulated series. He's on there. If you got a chance, go and check that out really quick. If not, check it out at the show. Very interesting story. And he has some insight on the Batman the Animated Series that I think will shed some light on some of this stuff that we're talking about. And then got D Amazing, Public Enema, my nemesis. And then we got Plasti. So lots of different perspectives. should happen. But first,
we'll do
before
that
we
last
start,
segment all in Spanish, right?
yeah, I tried to get a variety of mass device. Oh, Monty probably knows something that we don't know. I'm surprised Mauro didn't jump in and tell us, "Hey, it's this."
I know, right? Yep.
Yeah.
The air date, all that stuff.
Yeah. But first, before we get into any of that stuff, you know what we have to do. We'll start off with a little show foreplay. I'm very excited about this. You guys will probably know this has been in the making for quite a while, right? You ready? Drum roll. I have finally completed it.
Wow.
Boom. Mr.
Wow.
Jawool. Yeah.
Come in shooting.
Congrats.
Yes. Congrats. Thanks to you. I appreciate you sending me that link. So pretty much got this whole wave through all the raw stuff and everything else, except the basketball hoop. Got all that for the price of probably maybe 1.5 figures. Very happy about that. And I'm really glad, dude. It's a cool one. I think I got the special edition one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Sawyer will be pissed. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I like it. Shooter. So we got that. What's next? So mission accomplished. Got that. Super Party. I don't know if you guys saw this. So they had the first table reading of the Superman cast. Everybody's here. Your whole cast. I think that guy's Superman, right?
I don't see anything yet.
I see Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen.
Oh, you do? Oh, crap. Because I took it off.
It's Karl Malone.
Yeah, that guy. So, yeah, I think he's Superman. Am I right? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. There's the whole cast. They had their first table read and everything else like that. Are you guys interested in this?
Yeah, the deep breath.
Loaded question.
He's like,
oh man.
Yeah, I'm right. I mean, I'll give Gun a shot. I just hope that it doesn't go off the rails and told that it doesn't matter anymore after the third movie.
Yeah.
It seems a little loaded though to me with, is Guy Gardner in it and Hawk Girl, and seems like there's a lot. Is it Guy Gardner? I can't remember. I know it just seems like there's a lot of people for a Superman movie.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the first time I caught up with even what was going on with it, to be honest with you. So I don't know. But positive. We're being positive. I don't know any of these. I don't know any of them. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know about this. CC, what do you got for this? Anything? No?
You put a lot of pressure on me. You just said we're being positive.
All right, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
Linda, listen. Linda Hamilton got on and she said, I'm done with this franchise. It's over.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, geez, man. So, like you're pretty much the staple of it. And she's like, it's dead. It's been done to death. I'm over with. So it made me laugh. X-rated. In honor of the ribbing that I got from KJ, who's coming on tonight, said I don't know anything about X-Men. I decided to one-up him and tell him, okay. So if you look at this schedule, it's a binge schedule. So if you're into the anime series and you don't know anything about it, and you want to get caught up, this is your guide, screenshot at will. But if you watch this, it'll give you the whole schedule that you can go through and being ready for the new one. Thank you, GameStop. Appreciate it.
Can you binge all these on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, damn it. I didn't have anything planned for tomorrow, but I think it just filled my entire day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to knock out all of season 1 tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. You could
More
probably
than likely.
Turn and burn. Remember, turn and burn. See that? Awesome preview. Don't look too deep. The Bodyguard. And some serious news. I saw this today. This is sad. Virgil, he actually passed away today. I remember the whole storyline, million dollar man, Virgil the bodyguard and everything, and then he had that like turn where he was like a face for a little bit. You know, you didn't hear him speak the whole time, and then he finally did. But I saw this and I go, wow, oof, gosh. So it's sad. So rest in peace to Virgil. Also, this just happened too. Richard Lewis, I guess, passed away too. Makes you think, wow, nobody is safe, bro. You can't be touched. Chef Curry, I wanted to show this, so bear with me, because you know we like the NBA. Did you see this? Wait a second. I had to show you this. Give me a second. Let me remove this. Let me do this. Hopefully it won't. And this is pretty scary. When I saw this, very scary. So let me set some of this up really quick. They're down. They have a timeout, right? We're setting that up. They're down. They have a timeout. Did it play? Maybe a little bit audio. I'm going to fire the production guy. Remember, he comes down on the court. They're down, and he just pops up from half court and does this.
I did see that.
If you watch this, a 38 footer. Look at, okay, here you go. Look at this. Timeout. I'm going to put the link in there because I think I watched this like 5 or 6 times just to see some of the crowd reaction. Because if you look in the background, you see a kid. He looked like he was destroyed. He's like, look at it. People have their hands on their heads and shit like that. And he just said, no. I was like, what a killer, dude. Talk about a guy who, and he tied a record too. So talk about a guy that has sold his soul to Bartholomew Dex. There's no way somebody should be able to shoot like that, bro. Anyway, you know I like basketball. I gotta stick that in there. The joke's on you. Did you guys see the new promotional image? I guess you have since you're laughing. These are the new promo images for the new movie The Crow. And everybody was making jokes about this being Joker. Yeah. But there he is.
Huh.
Yeah.
Some classics you just shouldn't touch.
Yeah. I saw this and I also saw somebody comment. I know who reads comments and who reads comics and who doesn't read comics, because I guess this is more faithful to the source material. But I saw this and I'm like a little conflicted because I like, the Brandon Lee version. So yeah, I don't know. Moving on. Next, I guess you got news and notes. Flasher. Well, Flash. I was gonna do that. Yeah. NECA's coming out with their 7-inch scale Flash Gordon. I really like it. I wish that it wasn't, that scale, but it did stick in my head though. Thoughts? No?
I'm safe.
Set it off like Jada. Thank you very much for MC for giving the link to this. I guess this is on pre-order on Amazon. Ami had it. I forgot this a couple of days ago, but we got a good look at him. Blasphemy. He looks good, man. We got the parts. This will be the deluxe, and he has his elongated Fantastic Four arms.
Are those bendable?
I don't know. Would you need them? No, they're kind of straight. Would you need them to be bendable though? Like all the punches and the kicks and stuff, just like that. So, and then Bison also went up. I used to hate fighting this guy, man. I used to hate it. It's almost Tyson level.
Really good.
Yeah.
And the
So
cake
yeah,
is soft, right? That's not plastic, right? Isn't that a
no,
soft
it's
cake?
soft. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm wondering what that's gonna be like, you know?
As long as there's no stiff rubber. I hate when you get those stiff plastic capes. I'd almost rather you not come with one instead of those stiff plastic ones.
Yeah. Let's see. Ship the turtles, please. The turtles are shipping. They just don't ship all at the same time. GI Bill. And then tomorrow, we talked about this last week, but tomorrow, the 29th, is going to be, what is it? The Hasbro Post GI Joe stuff. We get like a little preview of what they're going to be taking from our wallets right now. So get ready for that. God, there's just way too much stuff. And then we'll get to the main stuff. All right, now we can get excited. Mezco, here we go. Thank the maker. All right, Brandon's here, so we can talk about this. Well, really quick before we get him on, let's just do some of this stuff too. So, in case you aren't familiar with some of the stuff that happened, Rook, I didn't put this out, but this was supposed to close out and go waitlist on a certain day. It didn't. It actually waitlisted this past week for, a week and a half ago. So, just so you're kind of up to date if you missed out on that or anything, that has been officially waitlisted. Shell Shock, we all know about this. Turtles, they got shipped out. Please remember, not everything ships all at once. They do it in waves, so someone might be getting their stuff before you. I think the retailers, it looks like they're getting their stuff first. So definitely keep an eye out for those guys. They'll probably have like pictures and videos and stuff like that. This we just talked about, was shipped. And then, not to pour salt in the wound, Vex has started shipping from Cali. So if you're one of the lucky people to be able to get that, congrats. And speaking of Vex, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you check this out? I found this on Instagram.
I didn't see this.
Very interesting.
Hmm.
Here you go. I guess these are customizer. This is the gentleman right here. El Club. That's his name. But yeah, and these are really cool, man. It's a sculpt. He has them unpainted and painted. So that's the unpainted version, but there's better pictures of what it. Look at that. Jesus. It's got like 4 eyes. It looks really cool. Details right there if you want to like look at it, but look like it's compatible with different things.
Oh.
It's just another look. Look at turtles. Yeah, so this looks really cool, man. I think it's 40 painted, 25 unpainted.
Oh, wow.
Looks really good.
It's a good price.
Yeah, it looks really good. But I saw that, and there you go. This is better. Look at that.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll put past that. Boom. But yeah, definitely check this out. This is the gentleman right here. Probably contact him. He's doing, I guess, pre-sale right now. Damn, that looks badass. Anyway, I wonder if he'll do them in red. I declare bankruptcy. Yeah. So the shadow is charging. That's just added on to that quarterly list that we were talking about, and it's also shipping from Washington. Keep an eye out for that. Now we get to the good stuff. All right, so so ToyzFair happened a little while back. It was a virtual event. I was wondering what you guys thought. Should it be something like? We'll save that for last, so we get Brandon on. So we're gonna skip to day 3, and the reason why is because got Brandon coming on. Brandon, if you're not familiar with his work, Batman the Articulated Series, Posable Productions, he's been shooting this line for quite a long time. A lot of really, really great shots. And then now he's also moved to Mondo, and he's working with them as well. And the reason why I brought him on was because I think he'll be able to provide a lot of insight into these two figures that we're going to be getting. Like I say, he has a lot of experience shooting it, a lot of experience handling it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Brandon Adicto. How are you doing, sir?
Hey,
Take this
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. No, not that. This, much better.
You don't have to make me bigger. It's fine.
I know we're the same way. We're like, no, no idea. No enhance. How
More
you doing,
screen
sir?
sharing. I'm doing great. Yep.
Good to have you on. Gentlemen, please meet Mr. Brandon. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
So really quick, I'm glad I have you on because, as I said before, you've well, why don't you tell everybody about yourself, like your highlights and your journey to where you are
Sure.
right now?
So I started collecting. So I collected when I was little. Obviously, I was born in '86, so I was collecting all like when X-Men the animated series was on. I had the all those Toy Biz figures back in the day. I had the Kenner Batman figures, all that sort of stuff. Dropped off of it when I got into my teens, I would say, and then when I moved out of my house and suddenly had like disposable income and a job and all that, I started getting more into figures again. So it started out slow. I kind of just started buying up some of the 90s X-Men from Toy Biz at the time. So this would have been like 2011 or so. So I was buying, they were old figures at that point. I wasn't really buying new ones until closer, 3 or 4 years after that. So the big thing for me that really hooked me into, especially photography, was the fact that DC Collectibles started making the Batman animated series figures, I think in 2014. They started off kind of slow. It was just a couple figures at first. It was like the New Adventures Batman. And I started taking pictures of those, and they were terrible at first. That's where I had like a single light, and I thought that was good enough. I'm a big apostle of the ACBA way. That's where I kind of cut my teeth on photography. So those guys helped me get a lot better at it over time. And then I started to just kind of hone in more on the Batman animated series stuff. So I started Instagram just for that. I have Posable Productions, which is just kind of more general Marvel and DC stuff. Not necessarily Batman animated series stuff, but then I have another account, Batman the Articulated Series, which is a name I am super pleased with. I still get excited that I managed to get that account name. I love it. So that's kind of been my main shooting focus for the last 7 or 8 years, I would say. I've kind of gone hard on that.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah, so I've been shooting. Yeah, I've been shooting. It's like a full-time hobby, I would say, for 10 years. I'm entering my 11th year. Wow. So last year was a big year for me getting the gig with Mondo, which we'll probably talk more about later. So it was like it was a really cool way to close out my first decade of doing this. It takes a lot to get the chops and the traction together, to get to where I'm at. So.
Yeah. And I remember seeing your work, and we've talked quite a bit, about this line and just about everything. Like you've helped me with I remember I used to message you like, hey, what are those lights that you're using? And you told me, I went over to Walmart and bought some. And
I still use those things.
I know. I was like, he still has it. I went to Walmart the other day and they're not even there. But I think
I think the biggest thing.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they sell them anymore.
No, they don't. I went to go look the other day and they were completely gone. But I'm really glad that you said how long you've been doing this. I think that there's a lot of people that think that there's a couple of hot shots that they have, and they're automatically going to get signed. And to hear somebody say, "Yeah, I've been working at this for so long," and then it's not just I remember seeing your work, and I still follow your work, but I remember seeing you were posting sometimes every other day, every day. You're doing tournaments and stuff like that, and so it wasn't 1 or 2 shots a week. You were putting in a lot of work over a long period of time.
Yeah, number 2 in Photo Combat in 2016. That was the breakthrough for me. So Photo Combat was an ACBA, so Articulated Comic Book Art contest, and it was brutal. It's every week you're matched up against somebody else. You're judged on those 2 shots. Whoever has the better score moves on, basically. And it was I faced Al Chang, I faced Jeremy Lee, I faced all kinds of just like insanely good photographers, and actually made it to the finals. I didn't win it. I'm still devastated about that, but I deserve to. John Connor's the one that actually beat me.
Oh, was
yeah.
it the Daredevil shot?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I
It was.
remember
I
that
mean, it
one.
was incredible. There was as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. But there's no shame in losing to John Connor.
Yeah, yeah, it was prop. I remember him, prop master. He's the prop master.
Yep. Very much
Oh, I'm
so.
sorry, prop king. He's prop king. So while we're talking about this, and I remember I reached out to you. The reason why is because I'm pretty sure you saw that Mezco announced that they're going to be doing the Batman the Animated Series line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was wondering, like, what was your first initial thoughts with that? Because you've had so much experience photographing, and then also, like I said, this line, and then now you're working with a newer line.
So I'm going to say I have tempered expectations just because I'm very much like a purist with Batman the Animated Series. The proportions need to be right. I'm curious to see how soft goods are going to look on sort of animated style figures. So I'm very curious to see more than just the head sculpts. The head sculpts look good. Joker, especially his suit, looks really good. Couldn't really see enough of Batman to know one way or the other. But I'm intrigued for sure. I think it's going to be a matter of if they can get the proportions right. If they, so you would know more than I do. I know you're a Mezco fanatic. How often do they use? I don't mean that in a negative way.
No, I didn't take
how
it.
often do they use like unique bodies for their figures? Like, do they develop a lot of new bodies? Is it one, a couple ones that constantly keep evolving, or?
I think what they do is they look at some of the characters that they're using. Like, obviously there's some special ones, like MCU, you've seen them too, like Nosferatu, or Planet of the Apes, Dr. Zayas. There's different ones that they have that I think what they do is they look at who the character is and they create this unique body for it, and then they'll, just like any company, they'll take like little pieces of it and use it. Yeah.
Right.
And your experience, because I've had it, but not to the extent that you have, but I'm pretty sure looking at your shots, and I've always thought this as well, you were able to bring out the characters that had limited articulation. These for me, these were like, I love them, the aesthetics, but they were really hard to work with, but you always seem to be able to make them work. And so that's why I was trying to get your idea of, if Mezco just flashed this and we don't have a lot of information on it, if they were to improve on whatever the model is, what would you think help them? Because it's such a unique body.
Yeah. The legs are like the biggest thing with the Bruce Timm design, those thin legs, but they don't lend themselves well to, figure sculpts that actually need to support their own top heavy weights. So I'm going to be really curious about that. It's funny, from doing this for so long, some people act like, well, maybe not even act. They can't stand these things up, like straight up without a stand. And maybe not long term. Like, I don't know if I could put them on a shelf without a stand for forever. I put mine in bins just because I would be taking down my displays constantly, because like, oh, I need Riddler, he's in the back, I'm going to knock everything down. So I don't bother displaying them in that way just because I use them so often. But it's really, it's the proportions are going to be, I feel like, kind of tricky to get right with them. DC Collectibles definitely work to preserve the sculpt more than articulation, and you got to be creative to work around that. Like, there's no question. Like, another thing I very much gleaned from so much time in ACBA, especially Michael Wisman is the one I always go back to, like, with cutouts. Yeah, so especially in the early days, like, I was relying pretty heavily on, character cutouts for figures that they hadn't made yet, or just cutouts to kind of spice up what's otherwise a fairly vanilla pose. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's not a lot you can do, especially with certain figures. So speech bubbles, just to make things a little more interesting, like that one there. So that's actually that's a Mondo figure there. So having the interchangeable heads and everything that you can do a lot more storytelling with, you know, without needing to have some crazy pose. It really helps to have that sort of like either, you know, interesting props that are specific to an episode that people are going to look at immediately and know what's going on, speech cutouts that help me tell that story, or, you know, multiple facial expressions like that. So I'm going to be curious how many heads the Mezco figures come with. That's going to be a big way to set themselves apart from what DC Collectibles had been doing, and McFarlane is now kind of continuing with the same molds and everything. Those are still pretty bare bones. I mean, we're going to get figures from McFarlane that we're not going to get from any other company just because they're deep cuts. Like, we got Condiment King. That's insane that we got Condiment King, you know, 30 years after he appeared in the show. Like, Mondo's not going to do a Condiment King. You know what I mean? So it's every line has some benefits to it. Like, Mondo's got all these extra parts, and they're just so, because they're bigger, they're painted so incredibly well that they just photograph just unbelievably. DC Collectibles has the depth of the roster, you know, and the sculpts they keep pretty clean, you know, at the you know, instead of being highly articulated, they definitely lean more into the sculpts. So Mezco, in some ways, they have the work cut out for them in finding a good balance between those two. Mezco did 2 New Adventures designs. So they did Batman and Joker. I gotta say, I really wasn't that impressed with them. They're you know, 3 or 4 times the price of what McFarlane and DC Collectibles were doing. They're about half the price of a Mondo, and they have butterfly joints, but they don't really buy you much. Like, you can't do that much with them. So there's a good chance that Mezco is going to be able to have the best articulated versions of these characters. So I feel like if they focus on that, maybe they're going to be able to hide the you know, the cuts a little bit better with the soft goods and everything, more than these other companies are going to be able to. So I think those are the things they're going to have to lean into.
And so you mentioned earlier, since you were with Batman the Animated Series, and now that you are collecting and you are working with Mondo, because I'm assuming that you don't collect the McFarlane line?
So I do, to an extent. So I've been kind of picky and choosy with those, because some of them the paint is a lot better, some of them the paint's a lot worse. Some of them come with fewer accessories than the original ones did. Some I'm buying, like they redid Scarecrow. Scarecrow I only had one of. I use these things a lot. They're fairly brittle, especially the DC Collectibles versions. So I don't mind having some extras, but they're also sending, you know, they're releasing them with the Build-A-Figure pieces. So they're I'm kind of, you know, I'm not fully in. I'm not being a completionist with the McFarlane ones. I don't need to have them all. If I had, like, I'm not getting the Killer Croc and Baby Doll one, because DC Collectibles did essentially the same figure with a slightly different paint job. There's no, and that doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so there's no sense in me getting those. But the Build-A-Figure pieces, I'm spending a lot of money rebuying old figures for Build-A-Figure pieces. But honestly, since they're giving us really deep cut characters, I can tolerate it. This is my main line, you know what I mean? I don't mind putting a little bit more, you know, wasting a little more income on these than I might for any other line.
And you were lucky, because I think we started, because we used to talk about this a lot, but we started when they started, and so now I wouldn't even think about trying to backtrack any of that stuff. Like the that big set that they have, I saw that was like $800.
The GCPD, it's got a bunch of villains and Renee Montoya, and it's a great set. But it's good God, expensive. Yeah.
So since you've been with that line, you kind of like missed over with McFarlane, and now you're working with Mondo. Have they done anything with their figures that you can see a difference from the old DC Collectibles, like improvements wise?
Excuse me.
So I feel like Mondo walks a really good line. You know, some people are going to buy these things and just put them on a shelf and never touch them again. You know, they're almost like statues that you could put in one static pose, and there you go. And so there's that. And then there's, you know, having pretty decent articulation. They don't have double joints, but I don't know, the weird thing, like, you can get away with quite a bit. Like, there was so much drama in that show as opposed to action. You know, there was a good mix of both. I'm not saying there wasn't any action, but you can tell a lot of those stories without, you know, like I said, in crazy poses and stuff. So Mondo, I feel like it's just in, you know, they're doing the X-Men now too, and that's obviously much more action oriented. It's a really good line of, you know, preserving a really beautiful sculpt that isn't just completely butchered by the articulation and you know, the actual articulation. I just think and the paint apps are just incredible. It's so far it's definitely my favorite line. It's you know, it's not going to go as deep as DC Collectibles did. I will say they're already going deeper than I think anyone could have expected by doing Man-Bat. That is insane. He had a 34-inch wingspan with the fully extended wings. That's just bonkers. Not everybody could fit that on their shelf. I haven't fit it on my shelf yet either. I think I'm going to suspend him from the ceiling. So they're kind of challenging that thought that, like, you know, we're not going to get deep cut characters from this. So like they're going for the throat with the Batman animated series market. There's no question.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to see what you thought about it. I know that these are just teases, and I try to like I said, I was trying to get an outside perspective of it, you know, because we always like to talk about the lines we like, and sometimes you don't want those lines to get blurred and where everything is all roses and everything like that. But
yeah,
it's cool to see that they're attempting this line. I know for me, when I saw this, I wanted to see a fuller shot because that way you would
the
be
tease
able to
hurts.
Yeah, and because you want to see more, but I think a lot of that they're probably still developing and everything else like that. But I wanted to get your opinion about it because there's some things I think, like Joker, I don't think it would be a problem because he's pretty well proportioned, you know, as far as like top and bottom. But those characters,
you're right.
like,
He doesn't have the highly angular legs a lot of the other characters do. You're right.
Yeah, so some of them I think they can get away with, and then this one I think. We talked about it. I think if they probably, I guess people call it like when they Mezco-fy something, I think if they made his legs a little bit bigger, it might help. But another question I have for you is, and I know you've been working towards this to try to work for a company, and if it happens, it happens, but I know you love your art. But how is it working with it, finally being able to achieve that goal of putting in all the hard work and you actually get an opportunity to work with a company?
It was like, I can't even, when they first asked me if I wanted to take pictures. So the first one I did was Man-Bat. So like I said, that was gigantic. So the fact that they offered me that one, like, showed that they had some faith in me, because that's a huge ask for anybody. So I felt really good about that. It's also just, it's just incredibly rewarding. Like, to have dedicated so many hours over the last 10, well, not quite 10 years of the Batman animated series shooting, but close to 10 years, to devote so many hours to shooting that and really just trying to nail that aesthetic, nail the colors, nail the lighting and all that sort of stuff. It was really, really rewarding to be recognized by a company that, especially a high-end company, that frankly, I don't know that I'd be able to afford every figure they put out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just, I mean, if I was going to get recognition by anybody, I don't know if there could be a better company for that than Mondo. Like, that these things are just works of art. I don't know that I'd be able to justify buying Man-Bat if I didn't, you know, help on it in some way. You know what I mean? So it's been incredibly rewarding, and just I want to do more. I'd love to work with some other companies too, but like, man, I can't ask for much more right now, honestly.
Yeah, this is amazing work, man. I've always loved your work. I've always loved the lighting. You're always able to make things pop and stuff like that. I don't want to get the other guys. Like, I got wrapped up in the conversation, so sorry, Cory. You guys have questions for
him? What's one character that you would like to see made that hasn't been done, or maybe a remake? Like one that, obviously you were pretty high on the Condiment King just now, but what's going to scratch that itch for you right now?
So another thing I do, I'm making like episodic trading cards for Batman the Animated Series episodes. So like, I'm trying to make one card for every episode. So I actually print them out. I make the labels and the packaging, and it's just like, the only thing it's not similar to actual, buying trading cards back in the 90s, is that you're not getting duplicates. So one thing I had gotten to a point of like, I'm doing a total of 90 cards. I have 60 of them done. But those 30 that I had left, it's like characters that we haven't seen figures for. And I'm like, I could do one with a cutout of that character, but like that feels like kind of a cop out. So there's actually quite a few. Like Red Claw would be really cool. And Lock Up is one they just did. That was the second Build-A-Figure one they did. Rupert Thorne, which is I don't know how many people are dying for a Rupert Thorne. I think there's actually a surprising number of people, like people who are hardcore fans of that show. Like he's pretty important in that show, And it seems like there's an actual chance to get those now from McFarlane. I don't think from Mondo. Who knows? I don't. And one good thing is I don't really know who they have in the works beyond anybody else, which is fine by me because it would be really hard to keep those secrets. So I know, we know Bane is coming, which is awesome. Wow. He's going to be gigantic. So I'm hoping that I get the chance to shoot him too. But yeah, just some of those like really, I don't know how big of fans of the show you guys are, but like some of the characters you guys probably don't even remember or were in one episode. Like, give me anything and everything, and I'm all about it. But those are the ones that stick out to me. Baby Doll, actually, too. So they did a New Adventures Baby Doll, but like that's not the episode everybody remembers from that show. Everybody remembers the one with her in the little purple dress and the sitcom and all that sort of stuff. So there's some characters like that I would just absolutely love to see, and I hope it happens.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff, man.
I love the Spider-Verse stuff too. I go through little phases with that, a new figure comes out and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta shoot some more Spider-Verse stuff.
It's good, the portfolio too, so you're just not getting pigeonholed into one thing. I mean,
yes,
you've always, I remember, you've always had a lot of variety. I remember the Batman, the animated series stuff, but I also remember you shooting a lot of Mini-Mate stuff.
Yeah, I haven't broken out the Mini-Mates in a long time, but I used to have so much fun shooting those guys. I really did. And so if I'm pigeonholed, it's by my own hand, but it's animation stuff. So Spider-Verse, X-Men, the animated series, Batman, the animated series. I made like dozens of custom Earth's Mightiest Heroes Mini-Mates several years ago that like were pretty good. Like I was designing them in Photoshop with like decals that I would put on and I customize and paint them up and everything. So I was doing a lot of those too. I kind of fell off of that just because I don't know. They're very easy to work with actually, because you're shooting something that tiny. There's, it takes up so little space. It's easy to set up and everything, but I just kind of fell off of them. And yeah, those are some designs I did myself too. Never fully followed through without actually making the figures, but I put the labels up for people to make their own and stuff too.
I want you to know, I don't know if you'll remember this, but I still have it. When I was going to do, you helped me with that. I didn't do that part of the ship, but I remember I reached out to you one time and I said, I want to make the teleportation room.
Yeah.
And you sent me the grid lines for the thing. I still have those saved. I just haven't built it. I was like, you were really cool about it. I was like, hey man, we want to get this. Yeah, I'll send this to you really quick.
I miss seeing the stuff you were building too. You were building those like the flat buildings and stuff, like background buildings and stuff. Man, that stuff was good.
Yeah, I still do some of that stuff. It's a lot of fun, but I don't put out as much work. But then also I don't throw pictures of that stuff a lot.
Yeah,
either, so
you should.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm trying to get back into it. Sometimes things just, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Life.
I definitely do.
Yeah. And that's one thing I admire about you as well, because you're able to juggle all of these things, like family and everything else like that. So it's motivating for people to see this kind of stuff. Say, you just have to be dedicated and know that there's going to be a lot of time to it.
Yeah. You just got to be willing to spend the time, after the kid goes to bed shooting instead of, playing video games or something. I do that too. I'm not saying I do this every night or something, but I try to, if I don't create something a couple times a week, I kind of feel guilty,
Yeah, but we've been talking for a while, but we've only like scrolled to probably half of just one of your profiles. So it's a lot of amazing work, man. It's like very consistent, very, very good.
I
The one
try to
last
rather
question.
than sorry, not to talk over you, but
No,
I
no,
try
no,
to
no.
really keep the bar high. Like I try not to post stuff that I'm not real happy with. Sometimes after the fact, a couple weeks later, I'll be like, that wasn't my best. But there's plenty of stuff I've shot that I'm just like, I want to have a strong feed. You know what I mean? Especially like, you know, trying to work with companies and stuff. If they're looking at that stuff, I want everything. I want to be proud of everything that's on that page. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The one last question I had was you've done a lot of work, and even though you may not think some of it like always trying to like do and outdo, there's probably one shot that you've probably taken that maybe you took it earlier that you'd probably want to try to redo again. Do you have a shot like that, or you just take learning as it goes?
So I don't redo a lot of shots, but there are occasionally ones like there was a Harley Quinn one with cutout hyenas that I did. It was probably the first Batman animated series shot that I did. It was probably, I think it was like 2015 or 16 that I was like, damn, that looks really good. It was the first one that was like, wow, I might have something here. And I feel like I could probably redo that either with so the DC collectibles, like the female figures are so horribly articulated. Like Harley can't do anything. So if I'm gonna redo it, I'll probably try to redo it with the Mondo Harley, which is just it looks like it stepped off screen. Like it's insane. The paint is just immaculate. Zelu 1984, who I followed on Instagram for years, he's as big a Batman fan as I am, maybe bigger. He used to make customs all the time. He would do digital sculpts and stuff. He's actually painting these things now. He helped sculpt Harley. So that's the other thing about Mondo is that they're getting the right people working on these things, people that really care about these things, and that's really exciting too.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was me. Sorry if I dropped. I'm having a little lag here because I found the photo that you're talking about. I just I'm trying to pull it up on here for you real quick. The Harley one that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest ones on my Instagram. I think it was like the third or fourth picture I posted on my Instagram. And I still love it. It could be better looking at it now, but it's still pretty solid. That was my first 1K on the ACBA Facebook group.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
No, it's
like,
not.
Okay. I apologize. I thought I had it. Let me hear. Hold on a second. Let me look for something.
Might be coming up there.
No, give me just a second. The charm of this show is that there's always technical difficulties. That's the beauty.
It's very relatable.
Yeah, it's like not everything can be perfect, and so it's give me just a second. It's nice to know that people are human.
What's your average time to take a shot, like from start to finish to posting on Instagram, so to speak? I mean, obviously there could be lag with that, but
like, so I take a lot. It depends on the setup, how complicated it is, but I take I would say at least 50 or 60 shots of a scene before I find one I'm happy with. And even when I find one I'm happy with, I usually shoot a couple more sets at least just to see if, all right, well, maybe this angle's actually going to be better than I thought it would be. But that has sped up a lot. Like in the early days of this, like the lighting was always an experiment. I never really knew, I would do a lot more experimenting with the actual lights, but like I hit a certain point, maybe after 5 years of doing this, where like I know where the lights need to be. It's just I walk up to the table, boom, boom. There's small adjustments that need to be made from there, but really I kind of just know where I want the light to be coming from, and that's just something that only comes from experience. It comes from just doing it and figuring it out. So that's sped up pretty considerably, but it's at least a 2-hour process, I would say, typically, unless it's a pretty simple shot. But if it's a more complicated shot, yeah, you're talking maybe 4 or 5 hours, maybe a couple nights instead.
Okay.
I found it. Thank God.
Compliments from D Amazing. That's always nice to hear. I got eyes from KJ.
Yeah, KJ. I think I got it. There we go. Boom, right? This is the one.
Yep, that's the one. So again, that's like a figure that there's no waist articulation at all. The legs can't do anything except go forward a little bit and out a little bit. Or she can basically do splits, but it doesn't look good. And the head doesn't do much either. So like I try to do a lot with a little as far as articulation goes, like and just try to spice it up in other ways. Like that gradient background is such a great way to draw the eye to it, you know, the bright colors and everything. The bright colors are what always drew me to animation and comics and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm always shooting on my camera full saturation, like literally max saturation. That's one of my secrets.
Taking notes.
Well, it's amazing talking about the color wheel I showed him years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I helped the amazing. How's that? How did that happen?
That's a powerful message in itself, right?
No kidding. Yeah. That's a testament right there too.
Oh, CC, I don't forget. I always love.
Appreciate that, Darius.
CC, you have any questions?
Yeah, I got a lot. No, I'm joking. I don't have a lot. I have one 2-part question. They always save me for last because they're always afraid of what I might say. So
they can cut you off. Get the hook out.
Obviously, you know, what you do has gone far beyond just, you know, hobby shooting. So I always kind of wonder, once you get to this point in your career, if you will, do you find it challenging to still keep it fun? And do you ever suffer or have to kind of fight through shooter's block?
Those are great questions. I'll start with the shooter's block. Yeah, definitely. Especially, so I've done, ACBA started doing October maybe 4 or 5 years ago, which is basically a theme shot every day for the month of October. So I did that, all Batman animated series stuff. So you basically just get like a prompt or a hashtag basically, and you work based off that. So I usually binge October, and then in the past couple of years I've done Battober, which is actually there's an artist, Chris Samney, puts up a Battober prompt. So there are things that can more easily be associated with Batman, and so I think 4 years straight I've done 31 shots in October. So that's challenging, like to come home every day, and especially like with my job, like October's a busy month, so like I got to be dedicated that month. But like every month I walk into it saying, you know, I don't think I'm going to do that this year, you know, we'll see, and then I end up doing it. But then November, it's like I don't even want to look at my camera, I don't even want to think about it, like. But yeah, then there's just other periods throughout the year too where I'll go through 2 or 3 weeks where I'm just like, nah, I'm not feeling it at all. Because I think early on, I think it's helpful to kind of work through that stuff and just shoot. You're learning something, if nothing else. At this point, I don't think it does me any good to just shoot stuff I'm not, you know, really feeling. You know what I mean? I'm not very passionate about. So I definitely don't do too much of that. As far as like the line of like this being a hobby and business, like I may have a different answer in a couple of years, like assuming that this train keeps rolling, and I hope it does. But like right now, I've shot 5 figures. 3 of them haven't been released yet. I've shot 5 figures for Mondo. So I just finished. They sent me 3 like 2 weeks ago. I had like 10 days to shoot them all. So we're talking like 40 shots for each one, including the turnarounds and the prop shots and all that sort of stuff. And I'm definitely burned out right now. But it's so rewarding to know that like I don't compare myself with the guys that actually like painted these things, designed these things, 3D sculpted them. I'm not there, but I do feel like I have an important role that like my pictures are what's next to the buy button. You know what I mean? The buy now button. And that's a lot of pressure, but it's also like I'm not feeling pressure with it really, because I'm very confident in what I'm doing, and I'm getting good feedback from them. I get good feedback from the from the community when they get posted. I'm just riding it, man. I'm having so much fun. It hasn't felt like work yet. Some days it does, but it hasn't been something that lasts. You know what I mean? I really love doing this. I really truly do.
And you get to do something that that you've been doing for so long, man. I know that feeling of accomplishment afterwards, like I said in the beginning, I think a lot of people lose that. I think they think that they see 1 or 2 pictures and they're like, oh, and then somebody gets an opportunity and they're like, why am I not getting that opportunity? And they don't understand that there's guys like you that have put in close to a decade of work and a lot of work and very good work over a long period of time. So that's right.
I think there's like a fight or flight moment early in doing this stuff that like you either get beaten down by, constructive criticism and you say, screw this, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to post on my Instagram and, who cares if people like it or whatever. Or like, I want to get really good at this. Like if I'm doing this, I want it to be something that I can be proud showing people. You know what I mean? And listen, that's not for everybody. It's not everybody's goal. And I get that. Some people literally, I just want to go home and shoot my figures for a while. And that's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I've always had a little bit more of an aspiration to like, I want to be part of that business, even if it's a small part of it. Even if I'm just accentuating, the hard work that other people are doing, I'm thrilled to be any sort of cog in that machine.
The work shows, man.
I appreciate that.
And like I said, I've seen you, come to this point. So it's good to see that it happened.
You've seen me get good.
I never thought that you were bad at all. I mean, like there's guys like I remember when I first saw Simon's photo, and it was the first one that really caught my eye was the Sandman photo that he had. You know, and he did 2 or 3 of them afterwards. But I was like, wow, that's a really good shot. And then to see where he's come from and stuff like that. And that's what I just mean. You see people and they just get better over time. And then there's that point where you're like, wow, I hope that they get an opportunity. And it's good to see that you got an opportunity because you did put all that work. So
yeah, there's plenty of people that deserve that same opportunity. I know that. And I consider myself extremely lucky to have gotten the opportunity.
Yeah. I'm really happy that you came. Please make sure that you check out. He has 2 Instagrams. Is there one that you primarily want? I know you want people to follow both, but
yeah, definitely follow both. But I've really I resisted it for a long time, like the cross posting. I didn't want to double post things from Batman onto the Posable Productions one, but now they had that collaboration feature, which is great because it's not posting it twice. People are just seeing it one time, and it just has the 2 accounts attached to it. So Posable Productions, I would say, would be the one to follow unless you just don't care about the X-Men and you don't care about Spider-Verse, any of that sort of stuff, and the occasional other stuff that I'll post. But I'm typically focusing more on the Batman side. But you'll see that stuff on Posable Productions too. So
sorry for some reason. I don't know why this is taking. I don't do that. I don't donate to Indonesia like that. But yeah, so you have Posable Productions. I'll make sure I put that one in there. And then you also have Batman the Articulated series as well. Yeah. Please make sure you go follow that. I'll make sure I put links in there. Dude, thank you for sharing your perspective on it. And I hope that we get something that's comparable to that. I know there's a lot of pressure with that series. It's very beloved, and so
it really is. Yep. I hope Mezco knocks it out of the park. Nobody wants to be shocked more than I do. If they really nail the proportions and just nail the overall aesthetic, I'm going to be thrilled if that happens.
Yeah. And thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you, and keep shooting, man. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much. Nice chatting with you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So next guest that we have, another All-Star. Make sure he's ready. He looks like he is. There he is. Mr. D makes it. Look at I wanted to see his face when he saw him. He said, "I just want to see his face." So you're so happy.
Yeah, you made this kid's night.
Say hello, Sawyer. D, say hello, Sawyer. He'll faint right in front of you, I bet.
How you doing?
Oh, look at he's like, oh, he talking to me.
Hey, where's your water at? Huh? Where's your water?
He's ready.
All right. You passed the test. You passed the test.
I drank 3 bottles today.
Oh, wow. You're going to be good. But make sure you go before you go to sleep, because trust me, you don't want to wake up with that kind of bladder. Your wake up bladder, you feel full before you feel full. You don't want that.
He's so happy right now, man. You don't know how you're making his night, bro.
I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening. You asked me to come on, and I said, all right. I see you there. That was it. I'm glad I got the chance to see Brandon. I haven't seen because I don't really log in Facebook unless it's like posting a picture or checking on family. So I'm glad I got to see Brandon. And it's funny too because I was literally just talking about him in another podcast yesterday, and I was literally saying, like, if it wasn't for Brandon showing me the color wheel, I don't think I'd be enamored by color theory the way that I am. So yeah, I always tell him, praise Brandon. If you wonder why my photos look good now, it's Brandon's fault.
I'm looking at ToyzFair. Hold on, I
Everybody
gotta do this. I gotta do this for a second. I gotta do this.
Wait, what did I do?
Look at this kid's face, bro. Look at his face. He's so happy.
Did he not believe I was a real person? Is that what happened?
Hey, this is his dream, man.
We had
He's
him
been wanting
convinced
to
that
meet
you
you.
were just a pair of hands.
Oh, really? Look, see, that's how you know I'm real.
We tried to find you at MegaCon, but I think you were gone already when we met up with Paige.
I was like, why didn't you tell me that people wanted to see me?
It was the next day.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
late.
You remember
Monday.
the day you came over? They came over the following day.
Oh, see, I already left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally
He saw me. He saw me. He was like, "Hi, where's D?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." It's like, that's me, right? All right. No. But he was like, "Yeah." And then he's
Well,
like,
I'm
"Well, they were
here.
looking
I
for you."
exist. I'm in the real world. Sometimes I'm not in the real world. I'm a Digimon on the low. I'm a Digimon.
Yeah, he said,
Digimon. I
"Yeah."
prefer Digimon over Pokemon if that's what you were asking. Yes, I'm an Agumon fan. So that's it. I am. I'm
Look,
an
he's
Agumon fan.
he's happy, man.
He doesn't have words right now. It's the quietest he's ever been.
He does, yeah.
Do you have any questions for me besides water questions?
Whoa!
Whoa.
Make his night.
I'll give you 3 questions like a genie.
Mm.
Be fair.
You got time to think about it. You ain't got to rush it either. Don't rush it.
Yeah, you
Don't
know
rush it.
Let's write it down, okay?
Take your time. Do it right.
D, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it. You are well known. I don't know if I really need to do any inductions or have
You
anybody
can't see him, but
say this
Riley's
is.
right there sleeping. It's hilarious because you could barely notice him.
Aww. Here.
That's
Is it okay? There you go.
Sawyer's a cat person also.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you have boxes just like I do in my studio.
I'm moving.
There's just
I am moving majority of stuff into storage, so all of this won't even be here next time. A lot of stuff is going to go into storage because I'm trying to make space to build my new table because I'm finally going to get a new table. I've been saving up for a long time because the uneven table that I have has been killing me. Like, it's been rough. Like, the fact that I've been able to pose on a lopsided table for like the last year has been driving me crazy. Yeah, this last year has been rough because I've had to learn how to pose lopsided. Like, everything leans to the right. So I have to reverse it and make it go to the left. But I've made it work.
You still work magic. You still work magic, man. You still do it.
I try. Right now I'm organizing my legions because I'm trying to army build properly. So I want to save up money to sell enough of my old legions so I can get new legions. That way I can buy more meatless men.
It's a never-ending
cycle. I love
cycle.
meatless men. It's one of my favorite factions.
Like, man, when we were at MegaCon and I saw that stuff in person, I was like, man, and I had to walk away a couple of times.
Now you understand how I feel. Everybody's like, man, why you buy 7 of the same one? I'm like, listen, have you seen these up close? All right. I'm team meatless man. That's like my favorite faction. I like barbarians and meatless men. Oh, look, it's Aquaman.
I know. I saw this shot today. I was like, man, he got the horse. I was like, man, I should have got it, man. Like, you're a bad influence.
Stay right there.
A good one though. So he was like, is he coming back? Is he gonna come back?
Like, why did I say stay right there? So it's funny because I didn't think this horse would be that good, and I was wrong. This thing is solid. Like, it's gigantic too, as you can see. Like, look how big this is.
Wow.
And then you can turn the tail on a ball joint, right? Which I think it belongs down, but I've turned it sideways. And then these move.
Oh, wow.
So, like, they can move out of the way for you. But yeah, it looks good with both the comic book Aquaman and the movie Aquaman. It looks good on both. And my effects looks a little smaller, but the Mafex works as well. So yeah, this works. I mean, essentially, it's already a gigantic seahorse. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. It's a gigantic blue seahorse. So it works for me.
you know that everybody's going to Amazon right now and grabbing that shit.
Man, listen, I'm not mad at nobody that's gonna buy this now because I was skeptical as well too. And I gotta say now I'm a believer. I bought it on a whim to see if it would look cool, and it looks cool. Oh, you could rotate this little head too. So yeah, you can
Yeah, it
pose
looks
the
good,
of it.
man.
Yeah, it does. It
I like the
functions very
color.
beautifully. I'll give it credit. It functions beautifully. It does its
I like
job.
the color.
I just added color thanks to Brandon. No, I'm serious.
Man, I'm
Listen,
happy you
I
came
thank
on
Brandon all the time.
for being
He doesn't know
inspirational,
it.
being part of it.
Yeah, he doesn't know it, but because of him, like I tested color theory for real, and now I'm literally like in love with it. So
I'm covering
like
up your
people,
face.
like I never got a chance to properly thank him. That's why I wish we were on at the same time. But I see that he's here now. So yeah, man, like I want him to know, like seriously, because of you, I literally do love color theory. So thank you. Oh yeah, and you can pose it like back and forth and rock it a little bit side to side. Oh yeah, I still have my veteran William. You know what's funny? I was trying to sell stuff so I can order the white one. So people buy my old thing so I can buy new things. No, seriously, like people think I just get everything for free. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. I sell old stuff to get new stuff.
You're the wife. Dude, I'm happy you came on. I know you're busy. I wanted to get you on to get your thoughts. You know, I know that this is one of the lines that you collect.
So you've been
No, I didn't.
You asked me to come on and say hi, and now you got questions.
Yes.
What do you think I am, Tracy?
Oh, don't say that word, Dick Tracy. Oh man, oh gosh, I'm looking so forward to that. I can't wait for that figure to come out, man. Oh my gosh.
For real, if you got questions, you got to ask them now.
So we know that you mess with Mezco a little bit. So
yes,
just wondering, ToyzFair just came. Was there something that stuck out to you at ToyzFair? You're like, oh yeah.
I thought you was about to ask me some weird question. That's get it past. Something that stuck out. I'm gonna be honest. I've had some family stuff going on, so I'm trying to be in a good mood. But I actually don't know what was really posted. Let me take a look actually on my phone. Don't know what was because there were things I worked on, but I don't know if anything was posted. Because I'm gonna be honest, when things usually happen for like Mezco stuff, I usually tune it out because people are gonna blow up my phone, and then I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But this time, actually, I don't know what people are talking about. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. This time, I don't know what people are talking about. My mother is sick, and I'm just gonna say it out publicly now. My mom's is sick and in the hospital.
I'm sorry, man.
So lately, I've just been scatterbrained. Well, thank you, but I'm going to check stuff now, and but that's why I'm trying to stay in a good mood because that's what she would want. And but it's crazy because my mother got sick and immediately was like, "That's it. I control your life now. You do what I want." Oh wait, we showed Batman.
Yeah.
You know, I've been so scattered I didn't know like that. We showed Miles. We showed all the red events. Oh, we showed Terrifier. Okay, so I like Terrifier probably because I just saw the first Terrifier, and that thing is awesome.
Yeah, it looks good. They had Terrifier. They had Captain America. They had also, really quick, I don't know why this is not working. As I said before, the best part about all of this is, Goonies, 5 points Goonies.
Yeah.
Goonies.
Miles.
Yeah. Okay, so that's funny too. Like the Living Dead doll. That's truly creepy. I don't care what nobody says. Living Dead dolls are creepy and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, they are.
He looks like an evil Goku that got a haircut.
Yeah. You know. So that's what you had. Yeah, Miles, Captain America, Goonies, Terrifier. So Terrifier.
I would probably say Terrifier. And you know what's funny? Somebody showed me that cap. I can't remember who it is at the time because I was just going through so much. But I did see the cap and I totally forgot. So yeah. So that's like Kirby cap. Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
It looks really good.
Okay.
It looks really good.
Kirby cap. I'm curious to see what his build is going to be like. His body frame. Is it going to be like the old body or will it be slimmer down? Like I'm very curious about that. But I'm still probably most excited about Terrifier because I literally like a week ago just saw the first one, and from what everybody's telling me, I'm not ready for the second one, so I'm probably never going to watch that. Yeah. It's
So-
true though. I don't do horror like that. I don't. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you,
I know
Brandon.
you're probably really busy, bro. You're really busy with this kind of stuff, and so I know
Yeah.
it's kind of hard also for you to be able to like keep up with everything. I don't know how you do. I know when we talk, like it's always in the back.
Because normally, like you, I have either a checklist or I'm constantly working on something, but I'm taking some time off from snapping 1,600 photos to like kind of take a step back. You know, I'm still gonna be snapping, but even this, like I did this because it put me in a good mood. I took a couple of shots and I was like, okay, let me put it away. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, Rojo's really mad at me. He's like, yo, why are you lying? Like, but it's true though. Like, yeah, here's my thing, right? I look at a bunch of people like y'all have on Brandon. Brandon excels at Batman and comic related shots. And I think about me and I'm just like, I'm just here making stuff like think that I look cool from what 7-year-old me would have wanted. That's the way I look at it. So it's crazy because I'm like, there are people giving us like straight from black sheet animation Batman animated series, and I'm just over here like, look at this Aquaman. So yeah, I appreciate that everybody likes my stuff, man.
It is. You got lots of fans. There's one right there in the corner over there. Right when he loves your stuff, man. He tells me all the time, like watching videos and everything else like that too. It's really
It's
good.
a big reason why I try to keep stuff kid friendly because I know kids are still watching this stuff. So I try to keep it kid friendly. Sometimes I'll be letting it slip though. I'm sorry. But
He
I
laughs.
try.
You're good.
I try because you don't know what people are teaching their children. So because I can impress people in a way that it will stick in their brain, I try to keep it wholesome for a reason because I didn't always have wholesome. And I feel like if other people got that, they'd be better growing up. Not to say that they won't, but I just try to make it a better place.
You are, man. People watch your stuff, man. People enjoy it. I mean, you're one of the few that I watch. So, you know, we talk a lot. So, is there a figure that's come out this year so far that's like holding up a spot for you, like on your list already?
What do you mean, like holding up a spot?
Any figure that you like, you just can't put down, really. I know you. There's a lot.
You mean
that's
Aquaman?
Yeah, Aquaman.
Okay, so hold on. So I just finished building this model kit. Actually, you can see up there in the corner of the thing. So I told you I'm a Digimon guy, and I've been feeding to build my metal Greymon. Right. So I finally built it. I didn't apply any stickers or paint yet, but this is a model kit, dude, and look how it looks like an action figure.
Wow.
Fully posable, got cool wings, like my arm moves. The chest opens up just like in the anime with the chest, so I could do. Oh, I made it fall, but I could do Giga Missile. You know what I mean? So there's a ton of stuff. Oh wait, what did I do with your chest? There it is. So I got too excited.
At least it's good. It's not carpet, so you're good.
Oh yeah, for real. Like I got really excited because like I love Digimon, so the fact that I got this is crazy. Like I built the War Greymon years ago, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and build another one because I feel like I'm better at building now, and it'd be therapeutic for me to do that. So I'm really happy with my Metal Greymon. I love that the Digimon kits are getting love now, and you know they're really good. Like this is a really good kit. It's a lot of fun. It's built when you build it and apply everything you want. It's really like a more fragile action figure, but still fun.
How long did it take you to build it?
To be honest, it took 4 hours. And it should have taken me longer, but I was in the zone. So I started at like 10 o'clock at night, and the next thing I knew it was 3:30. So I was like, yeah, I should probably stop for the night. Yeah. Had I had built this during the day and not in my insomnia fuel rage, I would have probably built more. It's just like when I built my Mega Man kits. When I start building, that's it. That's just gonna take up the rest of the day. Which is why I don't build often anymore, because I would stop everything to build. Like I would literally stop everything. So if you want a way to distract me, Digimon kits.
Just the only way. So you got your 3 questions? It's your time to shine, bud.
No pressure. Yeah, just go.
What's your favorite Mezco?
Normally I don't answer this, but you get a pass because you're under 12.
See, you got the
Wait,
I'm gonna look at the wall. Hold on, I'm gonna look at the wall. Favorite of all time, or just favorite right now?
All time, right?
Yeah.
He's got his prepared for you if you ask him.
Don't worry. I got you. So my favorite of all, I'm gonna look at my wall. You know what? I'm gonna take it back. So the one I've had the most fun with is Street Gomez. Till this day, Ichigo constantly gets put on the Street Gomez body. I put my head sculpt on the Street Gomez body. You know, I even have a Drink Your Water T-shirt on the Street Gomez body. So probably he's right there in the background because it's actually the first cool work of Mezco that I got published with. So yeah, it's probably gonna be Street Gomez.
All right.
I'll ask you yours later.
So, what's your favorite Poxus wave?
Oh, Poxus Wave figure?
Ooh.
My favorite one to say, because I always say it wrong, is Azulmi's Azulzar. I love saying that name stupid. It's not the right name, but I love saying it. But my favorite one to play with is probably going to be Zende. I'm going to actually review him this weekend. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to review Zende this weekend. I like Zende a lot.
Where can I get an Ichigo head?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This because you're under 12 and you're wholesome, you'll get a answer. Normally, the sculpt was made by Old Boy, and they gave it to me as a wedding gift and a gift for Ichigo for surviving and beating cancer. So Ichigo was a man. He not only did he beat cancer, he beat losing both his eyes, even though he went blind. And he survived until the ripe old age of 13 and a half. He's a good boy, the best boy. So I'm working with Old Boy and a few other people to try to reproduce more sculpts so we can have people for a chance to own it. And I want to keep it a secret until we actually got things rolling. But yes, we are. I'm actively working on it. I promise you that I am. And it's something I felt self-conscious about for a long time. But if people like you are asking, I think it's only fair I tell you. You know, so
Exclusive,
it's
Sawyer.
Hopefully this year.
Exclusive.
Hopefully this year. Yeah. It's one of those things where I don't, and this is an honest fear of mine. I don't want to put Ichigo's head sculpt into the hands of people who don't deserve it. So that's honest. Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, I'll be vetting people before I sell it. But you're good. I'll just send you one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's as good as they come.
CC, you got any questions?
But before we go,
I don't have any questions at all. But what I am going to say, D, we've only had a few interactions, and what I got to really say,
lying. It was a total of 5. That's not a few.
It probably has been. We keep a track. It's probably
top 5.
What I will say though, and what I really admire about you, man, is that you are always you, right? I don't watch a lot of reviewers. I don't watch a lot of other reviewers and stuff like that. But what I always, and I've said this, from jump, anytime we bring you up, is the thing to me that stands out with you is the sheer joy that you have when you're interacting with these figures. Kind of like you were saying earlier that you're just trying to do things that make 7-year-old D happy.
Yeah,
well,
that's it.
Those are still the things that are still making you happy, and I just love that about you, man. I just want to say that I appreciate it, because when I watch you do those things and interact with those figures, it really makes me anticipate getting mine that much more, because just the sheer joy that you have interacting with this stuff, man. You're always genuine. Every time I've interacted with you, you're always you, and so just keep it up, man, because we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. 1 and 2. I mean, I tell people all the time, I'm not for everybody. I genuinely love toys. And even when it's a toy that I thought like, I'm not as excited as I was going to be about this, I'm still like, I still like toys. It doesn't, I don't see one of those issues where it's like, I'm not going to, how do I explain this? There's no such thing as a bad toy. There's only a bad experience, but not a bad toy. Because there's a toy out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's the easiest way that I can explain it. Because we're in 2024 where we're still doing 5-point action figures. That means somebody out there is still enjoying that. But that doesn't mean it's for everyone. So maybe if we stop trying to push what we want on other people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, things get a lot easier. No, because sometimes I don't think we realize what we're doing. Like I had to change the wording about I don't consider my videos reviews anymore because somebody brought it to my attention. Where it's like, and they were being negative about it, but I turned it into a positive because they were just like, he doesn't really review the figure. He just tells you the factual statement of what it does. And I was like, you know what? That guy's right. I tell you exactly what it does, and then I take pretty pictures. That's it.
Yeah.
So I stopped calling it a review.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really argue with it. He was right. It's not a review. But people tune in, and I help them because I'm not entertaining. I'm kind of informative. I'm more on the informative side. Whereas, like, I try to problem solve. Whereas, like, this can't do this, but I'm going to try to make it do this. And if I break it, I'll buy another one. Whatever. You know? So that's how I am. I'm not here to ruin anybody's day, man. You pay too much money for dinosaur fossils.
Yeah.
You
Mm, well,
Yes, plastic. Flavored water counts as regular water as long as it contains 100% water.
what about?
I don't even know what gas water is, but I'm
Right.
gonna Google that later.
I'm trying to get
I don't know what gas
I'm trying to get your brother on here in a second, Mr. Bernard. Oh, I said the government. Ain't my fault. I shouldn't.
I do have so wait, what's your favorite Mezco though? I didn't get a chance to ask you.
You, Sawyer? He's talking to you.
Oh, wait.
What's your favorite mascot?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
For all times, it has to either be Vapor or Pink Skulls.
Okay. But you said Vapor first, so you definitely like Vapor. Do you like blue Vapor? Do you like white Vapor? Do you like Vaporoni? Is it because of the mustache? I want a cool mustache like him too.
Yeah, I like Vapor.
Little pyro stash.
I don't think I can rock a cool mustache like that. I need the beard. Like I couldn't do the mutton chops. But I feel like if I was old timey, I'd be like, "Come on, mate, in it. Come on, look at me, baby." I feel like I could do it right if I had the right. I'm right around a mutton. Like if you give me like Gotham by Gaslight sideburns and Vaporoni mustache, I feel like I could do it right.
Oh yeah.
Then I'd be like, "Yeah, muttons."
Oh, did you see this? I ended up getting both.
Yeah, but those are beautiful figures. And you know what's funny? I finally got around to doing a video for them. That's going to go up next week, though, because I'm waiting for one thing to come in that I would very much like to do a battle photo for. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping it comes in on time. Somebody had a question about, hold on. Make sure I'm reading it right. Do I shoot prototypes or final products or both? I do both. Yeah. If it's not flocked, don't try it. So you mean I gotta go all the way out? You know what's funny? I brush it inward because I like the smoothness, but it's actually really far out, so it doesn't look that way here. But I got a far out beard. But I trim it up like once every 2 weeks because I don't really like it to get crazy. Because when food gets into your beard, it gets really nasty.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. Today I had cheese stuck all the way on my left-hand side of my face. Nobody tried to help me out. Nobody. Like, it was just, I spent like 3 hours with cheese on the side of my face. Like, come on, guys, really? Nobody was going to tell me anything?
It's a snack saver.
I was a little sad.
It's just for later.
You know what's funny? Because I was on the train and I tasted it. I was like, I was literally in my face like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. Thankfully, like I have like wet wipes and stuff, but I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Do I have a Mafex figure I'm looking forward to coming out this year? There's a lot of Mafex coming out. So I gotta say, John Wick is one. Me and my wife love John Wick. But it's weird because Mafex stuff is weirdly delayed all the time. It's like Mezco stuff gets delayed. I know people always cry about that. So I just forget. I pre-order stuff and then I forget about it. So I would say John Wick, but I'm pretty sure there's like 5 John Wicks on pre-order right now. So who knows? But John Wick is probably the first one I could think about. Oh. Wait, nope.
What?
I don't know.
But this one or this one? Something else?
Was there a Captain America that went up? No, it's a Winter Soldier. I'm excited for Winter Soldier. I'm a big fan of Winter Soldier.
No, it's like, man,
I'm a big comic book Winter Soldier guy, and I feel like the movie nailed the comic look for Sebastian Stan, I believe. He plays the character. He does a really good job embodying that comic version that Ed Brubaker brought to life. Yeah, so I'm here. There was more questions. I'm sorry. What are the
there was one more.
shooting? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple more.
Let's see here.
What are the challenges of shooting a prototype? Do I get a lot of notes? Does Mezco look for a certain thing? Do they give you free reign? It depends. It depends. Like all things, like for instance, right? When there's Rumble stuff, I get a little bit of free reign until I'm reined in. Don't fall, Metal Greymon. Hold on. Oop. I don't need you to fall. I don't want no breakage. So I get reined in because it'll be like, here's a story. Here's the idea. We want you to meet somewhere in the middle. And sometimes I get a little too crazy. So then I'm like, we aim towards more of something else or something else. And then there's stuff where it's like licensed stuff, which I don't know if anybody's ever worked with licensed stuff, but with licensed stuff, there's a lot of red tape. I talk about this all the time. Like this, red tape all the time. For instance, you can't do this. You can't point at that character. This can't do this. We only want them at a certain height. You only got to do it from this angle. You will get all sorts of notes. And that's it. You just got to do it that way. Because they're the licensor.
Do you think that makes it easier with having all those notes, or does that make it more challenging?
It's actually both at the same time. Because if you get all of those notes before you start shooting, that is easy. If you get all those notes after you shot 500 photos, you're going to be pissed off.
Right. Right. It's all about when to tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate you coming on. You got your brother in the waiting room right now.
No, it's okay. Well,
I got the high sign from KJ. Like he's like, I'm here.
I mean, you could bring him in and I could just leave. I'm sorry, Dad.
You just bring him in there too. Look, boom.
Damn.
Technology works.
Get out of here. Oh, we're all on here.
Come say away. Come say. I'll just answer the last few questions. Hold on, and then I'm gonna leave so the KJ can get in. Did I get my Mezco turtles in? And if so, how is the articulation on them? Did you play with the prototypes if you've not received them yet? I displayed the prototypes at SDCC, so all of those poses that everybody shared the photos of 1,000 times, that was me. I have played with them. I ain't telling y'all nothing. They're fun. I feel like people will find them abundantly fun. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think you're gonna like it. Double jointed arms, double jointed legs. So you have nothing to worry about there. If that's what you're worried about. I can't say how's the articulation because I want you to genuinely be enjoyed by it. But I feel like, and I could be wrong, obviously it's my opinion, I feel like people will genuinely like where this is going with the turtles. I can only hope that more stuff gets done. Yeah. And then there was more.
Well, that's good. Oh.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna leave.
That was it.
KJ can get in. And KJ, don't forget, I'm square muscles, you round muscles, okay? Mind your business. All right, y'all. Thank you for having me. Y'all be safe. Hip hop array.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate you, man. As always.
All right, later, y'all.
Later, man. He's here.
What's going on, man? What's up, Corey's?
Ladies
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Public Enema. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. You've had Larry Bird and Michael Jordan on the show, and now Chris Mullins is here. Everybody rejoice.
How you been, man? Good?
Yeah, man, doing all right, man. What about yourself?
Doing good. And was wondering when you're ready to get another drink.
Hey, man, anytime, any place, man. Just let me know.
You guys haven't. This is the first time you guys have met too, right? So two Corys, of course.
Yep.
KJ, Public Enema. How you doing?
So you got a fellow Florida man in the group here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
on the road
to get together.
So
KJ, I know we had ToyzFair, and I was just wondering, trying to get a little bit of a consensus from everybody. Like, what did you think about ToyzFair? I
thought it was cool. I actually was interested in some of the non 112 stuff this time, like the 5 Points Goonies.
yes.
Oh,
one of my all-time favorite movies. So that kind of caught my eye. That Wednesday was pretty cool. I don't know what it is, but I'm not gonna get it or anything. But I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of surprises. I didn't expect them to do the Batman animated series. Terrifier was probably one of my favorite releases, favorite previews for the whole show. One thing I thought that was pretty neat is that now that Mezco's been around for so long, they're going back and doing characters like a 2.0 version of these characters. So we get to see like a new Cap. They just did Spider-Man. So I thought that was really cool.
I like this shot.
You like it because it's your Dio in the background.
I do like it.
Yeah, shameless promotion, self-promotion there.
No, it wasn't. I like the poo shot. I'm trying to find the poo shot that you had.
Oh, the dead poo.
Yeah, is it farther down?
It's in there somewhere, man. I started mixing all these convention pictures. I need to go in there and get all that stuff out of there, but.
Oh, keep it, man. It's good memories. Yeah. So overall, you thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
anything
man. I liked it.
Anything that didn't catch your eye or anything, or anything? Well, here's a question for you. Like, we've done the virtual cons for a while. Is there something that you think that would make this any of these virtual cons that they do or anybody else does, any other company does? Is there something that they can do better?
No, I mean not to be a fanboy or anything, but I think a lot of the contests that they run are pretty cool because it gets people interacting. You know, I'm scrolling down my timeline. I see all the people with the Gomez filters on. So I think that's cool. People are doing the crossword puzzles. I've seen some really cool the Void Cadet Gomez where you got to color it. There were some ones on my timeline. I'm like, man, you're like a professional colorist for like comics or something. So I think it's really cool they get people like interact or whatever.
Do you guys, MC? Do you guys have questions? Season? Oh, look
at that. Was that like San Diego Comic Con or something? I can't remember.
It was. This is like 240. Yeah. Was that San Diego or was it?
I can't remember. Either that or ToyzFair. No, it was San Diego Comic Con because it was Rob Liefeld in one of the pictures.
Oh,
yeah, he was holding his cable figure.
I really like
setting up
the beachhead shot that you did, where he's like covered with like the moss. He's like kind of like.
Thank you, man.
What it's I don't keep going. Like, you know, the lighting, it's just up. You would just scroll past it, go up, like just above Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Like the lighting is phenomenal. Beachhead's one of my favorites. I remember when he first debuted in the cartoon with Slaughter and those Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
So how long? I like asking this question a lot because Ian, he's a guy who learning a lot from him that's in the chat right now. But how long did it take you from like to actually set that up and shoot it? Do you remember?
Man, I remember that shot. Yeah, no, I remember that shot vividly because I just gotten off of work and I like to shoot when the sun's like either going up or coming down. I guess they call it golden hour or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I had everything set up. I was messing around with it. The light was hitting just the right way, and it took me like 10 minutes to set that up. So, like, normally it takes me like hours, but this time it was just like quick. It was easy. I took like 5 pictures, and they all turned out pretty decent. So, that was a memorable one. I'm like, man, I wish they could all be this easy, but sometimes I'll sit there and I'll shoot for hours and set up, and I'll do just stuff that I'm not happy with. So.
That was shot outside then?
No, it was shot in my den or whatever, but it's got a lot of windows, so the light was just shining at the right time.
Perfect. Okay.
And I had an orange poster board in the back and a little bit of light shining on that. So
sick. It's very good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Damn, it's nice. Probably, man.
You're more. I think Paige has told me where you're from, and I spent some time there. Back in the day.
Oh, Duval County.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to word it or anything like that, but I used to live up there. I was stationed there, so.
Oh, okay, you Navy?
Yes, sir. I was at Mayport.
Okay, my dad was in the Navy, and that's how we ended up here.
Okay, yeah, it's the biggest little city in the world.
Yeah, that's all the time. It's a small hick town that's disguised as a big city.
Yeah. So, do you have a lot of good shops up there that you go to? It's been years.
Oh yeah. Actually, man, like the past couple of years, the toy community has gotten a lot smaller. I discovered like a local Facebook group.
Okay.
And I met a lot of local guys through there, and they do like these local shows like every 2 months where you can sell and trade or whatever. And there's a couple of guys that went and opened up their own shops. So it's like the toy community is really connected here. So if you're like looking for something, they'll help you out. There's guys that collect Hot Wheels, and I don't collect that, but they'll be like, "Hey man, if you're looking for this, I can look out for you." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, it's gotten better. And you're down in Tampa?
Yes, sir. St. Pete.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, my sister used to go to USF, so there was a couple of comic shops out here when I was down there.
Yeah. There's a couple. There's a guy that Once Upon a Toy, I think it's called, on Amazon Prime. And Big Red, his show, like we go there once in a while, my kid and I. So, he dropped.
Oh,
there was another store. Oh God, I forgot where it was. My buddy went down there to pick up a sail barge.
Oh, Emerald City. I bet.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's like a warehouse.
Yeah.
It's huge.
The place is insane. Yeah, we both took off work, and he's like, "Man, would you ride with me?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. So we like drove down there and packed the sail barge in the back of his Honda Civic.
I was wondering who bought it. I noticed it was wasn't there no more. So that's a cool store too. I mean, it's like very industrial, but it's huge. There's so much, like vintage to new on the walls.
Yep. See, D's just mad because his city smells like urinal cakes.
CC, do you have a question for KJ?
Oh man, you ready? I come with the hard hitters. That's what they do.
All right, come on, man.
That's what they pay me for. No, in all seriousness, how much time would you say on average that you spend, in the studio during a week, or how many photos do you think that you take?
Oh, that's easy. 0.
0?
Yeah, I've kind of fallen off, man. I'm going to school full time and working full time, so I really haven't had time for shots. But I'm still a fan, so I get on Instagram a lot and admire a lot of people's works. I love to see how far people have come, and there's a lot of newer guys that make me look like an amateur. So I spend a lot of time looking at other people's photos, but I would love to get back into it when I get a little bit more time.
So I got some fan questions for you then. It would appear that you're a big Mandalorian fan from the looks of what we're looking at there. Is that safe to assume? Yep. So the idea of the Mandalorian movie, is that a pass for you, or are you excited to hear that?
Oh, I'm definitely excited, man. I just got the Mafex, whatever you want to pronounce it. I just got the new 2.0 Mandalorian, and it's really good.
Does he have functional holsters?
Yeah. Yeah, none of that figure art stuff. You can put his gun in there, you can take it out. He's good. But I think as far as like being screen accurate, he's probably the best one.
Yeah. And then with all the remakes and everything that we've been getting, is there a figure that hasn't been made yet that you'd like to see?
That's a tough one. Yeah, there's I'm a big like video game Capcom fan. I would love to see some Final Fight figures, like Guy, Cody, and Hager. Like I love side-scrolling beat 'em up games and fighting games.
So listening. That'd be nice.
Yeah. If they would do Final Fight, man, that'd be awesome, man. I like punching trash cans and finding a giant turkey and eating it and getting life.
I like this one. Jeez.
It's a Double Dragon, that old game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Double Dragon would be awesome, man.
Do you do the Jada toys? Are you collecting those?
Yeah. I was just talking to D earlier. He found Ken at Target where he was at, and so I'm still hunting a Ken. I'm looking forward to Doslam and M Bison, and that line's gonna be awesome. I still do the Storm collectible stuff. I actually got Geese Howard here. Yeah, I got Geese Howard here from Fatal Fury. So yeah, fighting games is my jam.
I missed it. I missed the moment. I'm sorry. I missed the moment. Plasti just messaged me. All right.
Are you doing the Mega Man line from Jada?
Yeah. I'm like a big Capcom Mega Man fan. So I got Mega Man. I need to go get Iceman and I think Heatman. Fireman.
Oh, Fire?
Yeah.
Fireman. Yeah.
They're all solid.
My son's a huge fan of that line too. So he's got.
I hope they do Proto Man. He's my favorite from the old Mega Man games.
Yeah.
So when do you think you're gonna have time to shoot? Do you think you'll ever? Well, no.
Yeah, probably early 26. So I'm out of school like in May, so I got a new desk set up. I'm getting some lights and stuff, so hopefully then like over the summer I can set aside a little bit of time to get back in the groove. It's hard, man. Like I've tried taking photos after a while, and it's not like riding a bike, man. It's like starting all over again. So hopefully get some practice in and get back where I was at.
You know the island's always there for you. You know where it is, right?
Still waiting on my Dio, man. It's been like 3 years, bro.
I know, man. Dude, I told him, I was like, yeah, that'll be easy to do. I can do that. And I was like, let me look up some reference photos. And he's like, another year. I'm like, sorry, man.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get that. Well, dude, like, yeah, just come back over again. And have it and
right,
just make it right
all
then
right.
and there and just paint it up. It's not like a floor that I'm building right now. That's done 4 times. Jesus. Okay. But yeah. Oh, KJ, man, thank you for coming by, bro. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me, man. It's always cool to come and chat, man. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
All right.
I'll talk to you.
Do a Florida Man reunion soon.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
So last, save the best for last. We have our favorite man, Plasti.
At point guard.
Hola.
Buenas
How you doing, brother?
noches.
How you doing, sir?
Fine. Enjoy all your All-Star guests. I still don't know what I'm doing here, but thank you for the invite. Yeah, how you guys are doing tonight?
Great.
Doing good, Plasti. Doing very well, man. And you are all-star, bro. We say it all the time on the show, even off the show, man. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know, man. You're probably the most selfless content creator out there, man. You're always plugging other people. You're always looking out for other people, man. So I appreciate it, man. And you put in a lot of work, bro. A lot of work.
Thanks. As I always do, I'm doing my part. You keep doing your part, and I'm good with that. So
that's why I love you, man.
No problem. Likewise, man. You're always like I was saying about the amazing. You guys are such an inspiration for guys like us to keep doing the work. Like doing reviews, sharing information, and all that stuff. Because when I started back like 10 years ago, you didn't know exactly what to get because there was so much stuff out there. Now it's even more. So yeah, always somebody with a figure in hand can help you out with some information or some details. Is always appreciated.
Well, I have a couple questions for you, but I'm gonna let these guys jump in really quick first.
We might as well start off with hard stuff, Plasti. Paige was doing a lot of bragging about how he's bilingual. Did you know that about him? I think that's a little known fact.
That's why I watch the videos, bro.
A lot of people don't know about Paige. He's bilingual.
he's been telling me he listened my video in the background to learn some English, but all I've heard from him is hello. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Bilingual seems like a stretch for me.
Yeah. So I gotta know, man. This is a self-serving question for me, but it's a big one. You didn't get Doom in time for Figure of the Year for 2023.
No, I didn't.
Meet your expectations?
Yeah, it once I cope out with the fact that he couldn't do the arms cross pose, I was good with it. And after I repeat, I passed that in my mind, dude. I enjoy it. I keep it around all the time. I have it in hand already. I love it. I love it. It's already running up for Figure of the Year from this year. So yeah. Actually, it's so much more fun than I thought it would be. There's a couple of things that came out better than expected, like the cape and the hoodie and all that setup. It's great because so much company, every company I got a figure with a hoodie, even if it's fabric or plastic, always mess it up. They did it flawless because it hangs like however you want it to. It fit perfectly. The size, the wire is, I don't know. It's the best hooded I've seen, and for Doom, it will break or make the whole silhouette, you know. So yeah, they did it flawless. Obviously, the old diecast, but it was a great show. The fabric selection, I don't know. The figure is so much better in hand than I was expecting, and I really said that because once you have like 200 figures like in a year pass through your hands, you kind of get like a feed or a food on what you're getting. But no, this one blew my mind.
Yeah, yeah. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. That's gonna be soon. That video is gonna come out soon. That red eye, yeah. I'm saving it for a milestone on my channel. I think it's gonna go out in maybe next week because I'm setting up to be my 1.k video on the channel. I'm getting close to
nice
1,500 videos, so that's gonna. I'm planning that to be my 1,500 video on the channel. So yeah, it might come out next week.
Wow! Congratulations.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank
you.
Thanks.
So what do you?
Sorry, what?
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2016, so 8 years.
Wow, man.
8 years this summer.
See, more people putting in a lot of time, a lot of work, bro.
And Paige learned Spanish in 8 weeks. That's incredible.
I did, I learned it all from the videos.
So yeah.
Dude, I love this stuff, man.
That was a pleasant surprise for me. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a fun figure.
Morbius?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great figure. Very well done.
I actually didn't pre-order this one because when it came out, I had too much on my plate. I had to wait, and I got it after the fact that it came out. So yeah, it came out of nowhere for me.
That is a very underrated figure.
Yeah, I need to find like a red sash for his waist, and it's perfect for me.
Do you have Lone Roach?
Lone Roach, yeah, I do.
Or I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
yeah. 5 Ronin.
Well,
yeah, 5 Ronin.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the red sash. I wanted to be a thinner material. I have one in mind, but I just couldn't find the fabric down here. But that's a good second choice. Yeah, I haven't thought of that, and it's wire already, so that's gonna be like I'm gonna try that. Yeah, I might try that. Yeah, thanks for the input.
So Plasti, they had ToyzFair, and there's a bunch of reveals. Was there any one of them that kind of hit for you, or what was your overall opinion about for ToyzFair? Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I was very impressed because even the one I didn't know, there was the Terrifier figure. I got curious enough to put it on my list to watch later the movie. I mean, because one thing I love about Mezco, and I think nobody can argue it, even the haters have to admit that their horror figures and their slasher figures are great. So I might do the homework with the movie and see if I can get that one. And when when a company does those figures that comes out of left field that you didn't expect it and nobody else is doing, you have to give it a chance. So yeah. And besides that, obviously the Batman and Joker from the animated series, because obviously any Batman fan is gonna tell you that's the best Batman in any live action or animated media. And the fact that they are doing it gives me a lot of hopes, because I have the DC what's that DC I didn't remember the brand, the first
The
one.
collectibles.
Yeah, I have those, and I really like it for what they are. But I hated those hips joints that are so ugly. So
Yeah.
after that, if a figure comes with that, I pass, like the Mayface, the McFarlane. So because I didn't want to post that and have those ugly joints, like, you know. So Mezco doing it is at least have that in favor, that that's gonna be hidden. And actually watching everybody putting like a custom head over any random Mezco Batman with that face sculpt makes you think that whatever they do close to that proportion, like the thin legs and the bulkier torso, is gonna be great. So yeah, I can't wait for that. And then the Captain America, the Cap. I was actually shooting something with this one
Oh,
like this week, the old San Diego Comic Con. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and having this in hand, also by his side, I can see what's it gonna do to top this one, with obviously the material and the scales and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Extra head is gonna be to he's gonna go on to this body and see how this looks like. So yeah.
Yeah.
Or those I want to say Joker, but obviously Batman and Joker are to me like the same. I have to get them both. So yeah, those two and the Captain America are the things that blew me away. I'm also a Goonies fan. I grew up watching the movie over and over again in Betamax. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I know that it would be foolish for me to get my hopes on to get those on 112, because the bodies, the shapes, their sizes, everything, it gets too much complicated. But I might get the 5 point of articulation ones, because yeah, I love the Goonies.
Another question I have for you, because I know we said that this was a positive show, but just to get your opinion about this. So like the last two releases that Mezco's had, they've sold out very quickly. And I know you as an international collector, you have to jump a bunch of hurdles as it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it depends on if you got them, but how do you feel about that? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
It's something nobody wants to go through it, because we obviously um I'm speaking from our fans' perspective. We want to get everything we want to get and we possibly can get with our budgets, and it's sad. But at the same time, for instance, I missed the Bex. I couldn't get it. I didn't have. I wasn't ready with my money because I was saving for the tutorial. So I didn't even wait on the site on time. But I was like lucky enough to get the red-eyed roach. So I can see why people is mad. I wish that didn't happen again, but at the same time, I can't give like too much credit to a lot of those guys complaining, because I often see people, not always the same people, but saying they're tired of the roach, that they want to see something else and everything like that.
Yeah.
So the amount of people complaining is closer to those that actually are tired of those figures. And And yeah, it was a limited release, and it's gonna be popular, and aftermarket prices obviously skyrocketed, and that's a factor that, okay, I didn't want it to be that exclusive, but I also like dismiss a lot of complaints of people like want it because it was an easy resale, you know. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a complex situation. So yeah, for
Yeah.
us down here, we also get the the caveat that we have to pay upfront for
Mm-hmm.
almost every purchase. So yeah, it's hard because when comes out of nowhere, like they let you know one day in advance, like, hey, this dropping tomorrow. Like maybe if you don't have the cash, you have
Mm-hmm.
to pass. So I was on that boat, and yeah, I, I'm not gonna say it didn't hurt. It had happened in the past, two or three times that I really wanted that figure that I couldn't get. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to say it's been less and less over the years, and I can't be all that mad because it's a variant, and
Yeah.
it isn't happening as frequent as they usually do. And as every brand, they have exclusive releases with limited amount of copies. You know, so it is what it is. Today is Mezco, tomorrow is Figuarts with the Star Wars license that they also put like Japan releases that are exclusive to Japan, and they do a limited amount of figures. So yeah, Mezco is doing it, but also some other brands. It's not like a Mezco things, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. That's why I just wanted to get your thought process on it because
Yeah,
you're more connected to. Yeah, I mean, there's like three groups I know that you're in. You know, for like Spanish speaking collectors and stuff like that, and a lot of times I don't think that that part of it really gets heard. You know,
yeah,
we're so used to.
yeah. Down here, at least in the group, in the Latin American group that I'm part of, like in the management side of Mezco of Facebook,
Hmm.
um, it's more like Marvel, DC, or movies like their main. You rarely see somebody complain about something like Rumble Society. You know, it's more like for hardcore. There's a few guys that do only Rumble Society, and me included, as I do the whole like one line one toy collective, and there's a
Hmm.
couple of other guys that do Rumble Society. They were like salty that they couldn't get it, but yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, definitely see how. I guess did we lose MC? He's gone. I guess he's gone. No. Well, Plasti, I'm a little stressed for time because I want to try to get these guys' thoughts on like Mezco ToyzFair. Please, I mean, we went through Plasti's Instagram, but Plasti also has a YouTube channel. I'll make sure that I put all those links in there as well to your YouTube and then also to Instagram. Please make sure you go check it out. It is Spanish speaking based content, but like I said, if you watch enough, you can learn Spanish within 8 weeks, like I did.
Crash course.
It's crash course. You get it all. I still say it all the time, Plasti. I love that rotating shot, man. I love it. That's like one of my favorite ones from your videos. So I
Thank
love
you,
it, man.
man.
I wish I
I
could
really
pull it
enjoy
up.
that because time after time I like to choose like a good group a figure to go on the background. You know, on the last rotating show with the close up, and I
Yeah,
really enjoy that. So yeah, that's not gonna be out soon.
yeah. Hey, uh, CC, do you have a question? You have a question since we lost them?
No, I don't think I have any more questions, man. You know, we appreciate you. We really do.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're all tired on the last one. One thing,
No, no,
one
I
thing
can go.
no, I really wanted to give you guys. Damn it, I can't find the figure now. Do you have that? I think Paige posted that Moth Toys agent, top agent. It was like in the
Is it the James Bond one?
yeah. Two
I
two
don't have
things,
that one. Yeah.
dude. Two things this guy did. Oh, here it is. They are doing like the best third party figure for, in my opinion, like last couple of years. You know, this guy obviously the hair sculpt, I know is handmade, but they do two things that I wish Mezco is implementing on the suited body. First, the tie is plastic. This is a great choice because I also have another of these guys made by another company, and obviously we have the casino now, the casino roach, and this thing is hard to get like well because it's so tiny and everything. They did a plastic with an elastic band. It works like a charm. And another thing is they have magnets on the jackets.
Oh, nice.
So it closes. Yeah, it closes like yeah. Damn, if Micheal start doing this with the figures with suited, they're gonna kill it because it's a so simple solution. This tool that makes the figure so much better. You don't have to deal with anything else to close it. No buttons, no anything. A quick magnet and done. So yeah, those two things. I hope that they catch on soon. So get better.
Is the plastic? Is it a hard plastic or is it soft plastic?
The tie bow?
Yes.
It's hard plastic.
Okay, yeah, that would hold form. Like I know sometimes like those things get smashed, and then I know for prune face, like I don't mind doing it, but there's times when how like you just said, if you're taking a picture and you look through there, and then sometimes the tie's a little off. If you did have something that was plastic, that. And then you don't have to adjust it. But I love that. I love that magnet idea because you know how we've gotten figures in the past where they'll have buttons or I remember one of them. I can't. God, who was it? You had to snip the. Oh, it was Black Mask. You remember Black Mask had that stitching, and you either had the coat open.
I don't have that.
Oh, yeah. You either had to have the coat completely closed all the time, so it kind of hindered him from bending down a little bit. But then if you wanted to, you snip that little seam that they had in there and the jacket would be open, but it would always be open. So that's a great idea. Yeah, man. I like that.
Yeah, those two things, they nailed it for the next releases.
Well, Plasti, dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. Appreciate your perspective.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, and then he said he's back. But yeah, man, appreciate you coming on. Sorry, 10,000 things coming at once. And thank you, man, for sharing your time. And please keep doing what you're doing, man. We appreciate you more than you know. Go check out Plasti stuff. Instagram, YouTube.
Thanks for having me, guys. Great show. Have a good night, everybody in the chat. And you guys, thank you for the invite again.
Thanks, Plasti.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Oh, bro. We already went 2 hours. Does anybody need to tap out? I was just going to go over Mezco really quick. We can give like quick thoughts and stuff like that. Do you guys want to do that, or you want to save it, or is it too late?
I'm okay to do it.
Quick is what some of us do best. Say quick is what some of us do best.
Not true. Some of us, though. Some of us don't. Well, they talked about most of this stuff. I guess we can like break it down very quick. So it was a virtual event. Obviously, not a lot of people, I guess, know that this stuff is going to be just reveals, and they kind of hard focus on the fact that it's a lot of digital stuff. One of the questions I wanted to ask you guys was, is this digital format that they're doing, do you think that that's okay? I know I asked D, but I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about that? Do they need to do something more, or do people just need to understand that these are just reveals? It's not the final product.
I don't think there's any benefit to showing too much, right? Because then when you start making changes, then people start complaining about, oh, it's false advertisement, right? Like, I think it's the right approach. It's to give you enough to get excited, right? But we're not pre-ordering anything today, so we don't need. We got time to get that other stuff. You can slow it down. Look, Mezco's at a heat of enough pace as it is, right? I don't need them to rush anything. The beginning of 2024, this has just been brutal, man. It's like My wallet like drug itself out of the room the other day. I'm like, "Are you okay, man?" He's like, "Bro, killing me. It's bad."
It's $1,500.
See, yes.
I have the breakdown for it. It's I think if it's bought everything, that's including the statues, swag and shit like that, it's $1,500. I think. Don't quote me on this, but I wrote it down on my phone. I think it's like $1,300 if you bought everything. So far, that's just so far. So, and just because of what you said, CC, I did look that up too today. So these, you know how you said kind of slow down, and a lot of people were asking too about these reveals. So last year, the only thing that has come out yet is Firefly. The other ones that they showed, Wolverine, the Shadow. I mean, that's something that's, it's being shipped right now. But I mean, they showed Robin. No, I'm sorry. They showed the Shadow. Who else was it? Now I'm going to brain fart. I wrote it down too. I was trying to go off memory, but whatever. But they showed the only thing that hasn't come out is Firefly. So like you said, it's going at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. So Firefly, that went up for pre-order in May, right after they showed it. The Shadow went up in April. Wolverine went up in July. Prune Face, that was another one. That went up in February, and then it came out this year. So the stuff that they showed, we should be seeing something pretty soon.
Wow.
MC, what do you think about the digital stuff?
I mean, I like the digital event. You can kind of not everybody can go to a convention. It's nice that, we all get to see, I know that, let's face it, we're all hyped. We're all excited. We're all hitting refresh on our phones, pulling down to get the Twitter feed faster, Instagram, whatever you're getting your news from. And it's just the hype around that is so fun, I think. And I know that, our chat, and I'm sure there's people that have chats like that going also, we're like, oh shit, this is awesome. Or, I mean, there were no secrets, like the dolls, we weren't super excited. The Living Dead dolls and the Roto plush, we're like, thank God, keep them coming. I think that's what Cece was saying. I think I said it once or twice, like, keep those coming because it's helping my wallet after the beating it's taken. Month. But it's nice because you get instant. We all get to see it at the same time, and we all get to talk about it at the same time. So, I prefer digital event, honestly, because what are they going to show in person? They're not going to show. I mean, Cap is obviously photoshopped. The Batman was obviously what can they show at a con or something in a very rough prototype, or the same picture in a packed hall? So,
yeah, I get it because of the fact that you gotta put this stuff out. If you really look at it, all these things were licensed products, so you're working within the license. It's not making an excuse. I mean, it's pretty much the reason for it. So you're working under this license, and you have to show some kind of product so you can have this stuff ready for the licensor when they say when they approve it. Everything's got to go pretty smooth. So I'm wondering if people are just not accepting the fact that even though they've been doing this for years, these are digitals. It's always going to be like this. We saw this with Superman. So it's like, this is just proof of concept. It's just to show you what's coming out. And people start pixel peeping. And I know we do too a little bit, but I think it's more to the detriment of what they're offering. I don't think it's like, oh, hey, look, this looks like the scales that they use for, Aquaman or this also looks like kind of like the pattern of the material that they would probably use for Mr. Freeze. So those scaling problems that you had before, that's not going to happen this time. Everybody's focused on like, oh, look at that. He has no neck. It's like, dude, come on, man. Seriously. Are you really going to get a figure with no neck? Come on. I mean, it's just, and I get it. There was other ones too, like Miles, and that was photo, but it's not like we haven't seen the movie before. All of this stuff is digital stuff, and this doesn't look photoshopped to me.
That looks pretty close to being done.
Yeah,
with the soft goods at least, and the
No need to zoom in.
CC
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
in
I
3.
forgot about this. This is.
Yeah.
I should have put a banner.
I
up
won't
for it.
need that one. No terrifying clowns in my collection. We won't be
Yeah,
doing it.
let me get off of that one then. But yeah, but there's ones that just kind of look, these looked cool. But even with me saying these look cool, or even if it was something that I was kind of questioning about, I know it's just not going to be the final product.
Right.
Superman was like that. We saw that digital. That was digital. The Crow was digital. All those were digital. And I just see a lot of people. They're very quick to just jump on it and tear it down. I get it because it's digital. Maybe you're disappointed, but some of that stuff takes out of the fun of it. It's just you just wait until you see it at the con, and then maybe make some judgments on it, and then walk it back like usually what happens. But try not to like take out the fun of some of this stuff. It's just a digital render, obviously. I don't know even if they plastered it. I don't know if that would make a difference, but what is it? Yeah, some of those comments are easy to dismiss. Yeah, but is it really going to look like that? Probably not. But was there a standout for you guys? When you saw it, you're like, oh crap, this is awesome.
Had to be Captain America for me, because I'm really loving the vintage style figures that they're on a roll with right now. I think he's going to translate really well. The Batman and the Joker I thought were great, but I'm really concerned about the proportion thing, because I think it's really easy to lose that animated look. It'll just end up looking like another Batman comic figure if you don't get that lower proportion right. That's going to be tough. Kind of the same thing. I think it's going to be an equal challenge with the Miles reveal, because he's got different proportions too. You can't just slap him on a knock body and expect it to look right.
Yeah, he's a very lanky teenage kid, but
long arms, long thin legs, kind of a broader chest.
He's got Marfans.
Do you think, I know we've been talking about this for a while and saying, we'd like to see this, but now that it's here, do you think that this is something that's going to be harder competition for them because there are so many other offerings from other companies? You have Sentinel, you have SHF, you have.
Well, it definitely. I mean, they're not shying away, because there are some really. I mean, the Sentinel Miles Morales, in my opinion, is really, really good. So if Mezco can make a better Miles than that one, that would be saying a lot.
Yeah,
it's one of those hold my beer type moments, right?
Yeah, I think the majority with this is going to be people will be looking to see the design and the articulation scheme with this, how much range of motion you can get in this costume, because it's supposed to be dynamic. And then, like Brandon said earlier today, I think a lot of the stuff hinges on the faces for these figures, especially the animated series.
I got a question for you, Paige.
Yes, sir.
Is this a potential opportunity for the kind of the blended seamless, like you've kind of hinted about?
I still think it's a great idea.
If you try to do a seamless body, Miles?
I think it works. I think if you just made some slight improvements to the, I don't want to say exoskeleton. Somebody jumped on me for that. The internal skeleton that they had for that. Yeah, if you just kind of work on that, and then that way you can get some of that range, because they're like, look what I did with that Batman.
I kind of wonder, would that be the easiest way to kind of get those proportions right? That, if you're just using a standard metal skeleton, and then you got that body mold and slap the soft goods on top of it.
That's one of the things I was trying to point out. Like you can have a bigger variety with these bodies, because you're stuck into this body mold with this character, with those characters. You know what I mean? Like that's a specific body. You probably could take that body and you could use it for other things, like another Robin or another, maybe the Goonies, if you wanted to do that, like you have some kids or something. But usually what happens when you get those unique bodies, you're kind of stuck with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sod Cutter. I don't know if they're going to have any other characters that will have that kind of design. Maybe they can do Street Fighter. if they, maybe worked on the elbows and stuff like that, but you're locked into that. And so companies are going to want to maximize that mold so they can use it over and over again.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But do you see how it makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
You just have a seamless body. You can get those proportions because the mold that you're making is probably cheaper for the seamless than it would be for the other one.
Right.
And now you have this kid that can do all that stuff.
Right.
I like the way you're thinking.
I listen
Yeah,
intently.
But what do you think, MC, about it?
What was I excited for?
Yeah, we'll roll with that. Yeah.
I really like the Goonies a lot, which
Mhm.
is breaking from the norm of because like Plasti and KJ and D, they all said, like the 5-point, like the Goonies. I grew up watching it. I mean, I watch it with Sawyer all the time. And then the 112, of course, Batman has me interested, but also the Miles Morales. I'm a big Spider-Verse fan, so I like they did Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen. Cory and I had the debate: is it Spider-Verse or is she comic version the one that we're getting? Because the head, but I like it all. I don't know. I just like I like the Spider-Man universe, Spider-Verse.
Yeah, we talked about it in chat. I think it's gonna be cool. Even though I think the SHF version and the Sentinel version, I'd still be interested in this. It's a different figure, different price point. You're gonna get different things with these figures. So, and let's jump to this really quick. Brandon's photo. Let's jump to this. And I brought Brandon on because, like I said before, he has a lot of experience with this stuff, and I definitely wanted to hear you guys' thought process on it too. I know it's a tease, it's just a reveal, but instead of like shitting on something like right off the bat, what's something that we could look at this and say, okay, this is what would make this figure go over well, or this figure as well.
So for Joker, I mean, the suit and the head sculpt looks spot on. Like I love that. It looks straight out of the cartoon. The yellow teeth is perfect. The green with the black swoops in his hair. And then the suit. I mean, like it does. The Batman one, it looks a lot more photoshopped. You can see like around the cowl and stuff like that. But I don't know. I like them both. I'm excited. I'll buy. I'm a sucker. I'll buy them both no matter what. So
I'm wondering how, they have both of these. Like, who do you launch first?
two-pack.
Do you go with Batman? And you can tell some of this is Photoshop, like no lie, like that. They covered the joint there, so that's why when they say reveal and stuff, I don't ever take it with a grain of salt. I look at it more of like a potential kind of thing. What are they gonna do with it? Like you said, there's just good stuff here. This is an accessory we'll get. Look at that. You can see that.
Does the cowl and head on Batman look one piece like the older style Batman to you, versus like the newer Batman that was?
From this, what it looks like to me is, it is. But then this also looks like something like it would be Batman 89-ish, where it's underneath the thing. So that would be something that I would wonder about too. I saw people getting replacements for their Batman 89 figures, and one guy said that the cowl actually fits a little bit better and it doesn't have that spacing. So that's a good thing. Maybe they learn from that and they can implementing this into this figure, because if you look at it, it looks like it has the same design. Again, speculation. But my main thing with this when I looked at it was, I don't think proportion wise and design wise as a figure, I don't know if following that Tim design would work. I think it would be too top heavy. You know how guys were complaining about Robin with big feet?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why was because he had big feet was because you still have to balance that body out. And that frame is so small. If you make tiny feet, he's gonna fall over. And I know how Mezco collectors, when they have figures and they fall over, they break, they take other things with them. You don't want this one taking a nosedive. So I can see them maybe making the legs a little bit bigger, but does that ruin the aesthetic, or do you just say it's Mezco-fied? I don't know. This is a good point. No one has done super well except Lando's Harley. Yeah. So that's another thing too. Maybe if you have this new female Power Ranger or seamless / plastic body, or even a seamless body, you can have the females do it. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. I'm excited about this because I want to see how far they go with it. But you just have two characters, and Brandon made a good point too. I can't see them deep diving into this line unless it's like a really big success. So they put a lot of build up into this. I'm glad I kept my other stuff, like all the vehicles and all the other figures I had, because at least that'll be complimentary to that. But
Mm-hmm.
oh, I have a question for you, CC. Because you like the golden age, right?
Yes.
If they do this, do you stop the golden age stuff?
No, because I think they're completely different to me. Completely different. If anything, I think this is a little bit more of a modern. I'll be honest though, Paige. I don't think that they're going to Mezco-fy this figure. For one, mainly, I don't think DC would allow that. I don't think they would have let them make a Batman the Animated Series figure and then change it far too much. Kind of like some of the people that talk about tonight. DC is going to give them their notes and say, hey, this, design is based on this and it looks like this and he does this. I really think the secret to making this successful, other than the articulation, like they were saying, is going to be multiple expressions, right? You can't just do the one head or just two. I think you got to do multiple expressions because it's very, very popular. And I don't think it's a coincidence that out of the releases, 3 of them are animated characters, right? So to me, that kind of almost tells me that there's some sort of technology that they're ready to roll out. And I would not be shocked to see, that metal endoskeleton, right, with the formed body, so that we can get a nice tight fitting suit. And I think it would be a killer if they went that route.
With this figure, with Batman?
Yes.
Do you think it would be a gamble because it's the animated series, and then also because of the 89 thing?
Well, but see, the difference would be, I don't think you do. It would just be a seamless body underneath soft goods. Right? Kind of like what's the, oh man, who is it that does the seamless 112 figures?
Viking.
Yes, if they did something like that and then just put the soft goods over the top instead of it just being a completely seamless body, a hybrid, if you will, kind of like what you've been talking about, I really think that's the way to go with these. Right? It would be killer. Because the look, I mean, it's a fine line between Batman animated and Batman comic, right? It'd be very easy for this Batman to end up just looking like another Dark Knight if they don't nail the proportions. So I don't think they would even wander down this lane if they didn't have a way to do it.
Yeah, I just meant, like, do you think that there'll be some like initial, pushback? Because even if you say this is going to be a new seamless and there's soft goods covering it because it's Batman, because it had Batman 89, and you advertise, guess what, guys? This is the new seamless body that's going to have these clothes. You don't think that people are going to be like, oh no, Batman?
Well, I think, and now this is just my opinion, I think they would have more success taking that route than if they were to try to launch a Batman that doesn't have the proportions. right? Like
Yeah,
if they try to do it, and this looks more like, you know, Batman from a modern comic than it does, you know, Batman Detective. It looks more Batman Detective than it does Batman animated. People are going to kill him for it. Kill him for it. Whereas if you can put out that prototype or that reveal and say, hey, look at if it has the look, I don't think people are going to care how the sausage is made.
yeah.
Right? Like if this thing just is beautiful and the most perfect, you know, superior, you know, figure, because there's been some good ones out there, you know, but hey, we've got that look plus his articulation and no seams. Oh my God. Photograph guys are going to just lose their minds.
Yeah. I think Brandon made some really good points. I mean, I think if they do it right, you'll be able to grab the attention of not only fans, but then also guys that do have the ability to showcase the figure really well, and that's just going to help you even more. MC, which one would you put out first, Joker or Batman? Tick tock,
Joker, because everybody's gonna, you know, because it's easier to nail, and if you got a Joker, everybody's gonna probably buy the Batman.
Oh, you get the business in there. Your business strategy in there.
If it's my business, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But realistic, I mean, I would like them to put Batman out first.
Give me a 2-pack.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
give me a 2-pack.
You know, that's a good bet too, because they did that with Dick Tracy. Maybe I'm not saying they weren't confident in Dick Tracy flat top, but that's kind of a gamble. You know, it's a generational thing and may not resonate with certain people. But if you put it in 2-pack, and that way, if it doesn't go, at least you say, "Oh, we didn't do this individually. It costs more money." That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2-pack. So we did best in show. What you guys thought? Anything that you saw? There was something that happened, and this isn't like behind the scenes thing or anything like that. This is just something that has happened before that I've seen with other companies as well. But they had this. There was and I screenshot it. I forgot to put it in the thing, but they had these lineups where it was supposed to be, 12, 1, and 2, and then they erased it, and then we got 2, but then we got this after hours kind of reveal. And I had a theory I was going to run by you guys. I think honestly, and this happens a lot with licenses, but I think honestly we were supposed to get a reveal and something happened and they couldn't show it. And so that's the reason why it got knocked off. And then they filled it with this other offering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm alone on this. This is a good idea.
We don't all know those things. All we know is what they show us. that's all we know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a little behind the scenes, but I've seen companies do that, and then also even we're at SDCC. There's times when, like, you had something like there was that Indiana Jones that was there, and it was they said take it down and stuff like that, so it was taken down, and then Iron Man was up for a little while, and we had taken him down too. I think that there's sometimes that a lot of those things change like right on the fly, and you don't know why, but. I mean, there's always a reason for it. But when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. There was supposed to be a reveal there, but it wasn't. Because they were marketing this pretty well. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I think a lot of things that they don't get credit for. I mean, we get to see what's coming. This is just a preview. But I think something that really gets glazed over, dude, they gave away so many figures. I did it the year prior, but I didn't do it this year because it was a lot of number crunching, but they gave a lot of free stuff away, man. So I don't know a lot of companies that do that. I know the games, like some people think that might be a little bit, oh, it's a game and it's supposed to be easy, but it's just supposed to get people in and, get site traffic, but also make something fun. And then they just can't give away figures. They got to make you earn it a little bit. But right. I don't know a lot of people that are giving that many figures away. So that gets
Yeah.
lost a little bit. What I don't know what it was supposed to be. It's just I was looking at the time and I saw that the slot was gone, and I said, "Oh man, they probably had something and it just got kind of wiped away, and they had to adjust." There was a con that they had, and they had something out. This wasn't the one I went to, but there was something that was out, and they were teasing it, but it never happened. And I was looking at it, I was like, man, that probably was one of those instances, when something changed on the fly, whether they were like, no, we're not going to show this, or something happened, you never know. Maybe they just couldn't get it prepared in time, but I was looking at that and I'm like, wow. And if you count the releases, it's almost like you could see that was going to be a big release. But anyway, that's just a theory. A film theory. Well, that's about it. That's all I had. We milked it for 2:30.
Big thanks to all the guys tonight, man. It's pretty special to be able to share a little bit of screen time with all those guys. It's a huge honor for me to have that opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on and being part of it, bro. I'm sorry. What? Nancy, I missed it. I'm sorry.
I said they took time out of their busy schedules, to spend a little bit of time with us and everybody in the chat.
Slumming it with the 2 C's. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brown. He's been here the whole time. Brown, thank you, man. Appreciate you watching the show through it and being part of it, man. Appreciate all the knowledge too, man.
Yeah. What a solid, very, very humble guy too. Like that was cool meeting him too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I always remember that, man. I wasn't nervous about asking him, but when you ask somebody for something, you don't want it to always be like, hey man, can you hook me up with this? But I remember I was like, I can't figure this thing out. I really feel bad because I didn't do it, but it was the lining of the roof of the teleporter room for Star Trek. And he was kind. He's like, yeah, just give me a little bit and I'll have it for you. And then he had it to me that day. And I was like, wow, that's really kind of him. And then I had lighting questions, and he always answered. He's a good guy, man. Very talented, very good guy.
I'm gonna need somebody to explain this color wheel to me.
Oh, the color wheel? Yeah. He.
I'll be heading straight to Google after we get off here.
Man, I'm telling you, go to his website. A lot of the stuff that I know and I learn that I don't put into practice, but most of that I got just by kind of like looking and watching. He and I think he's a really good person to learn from because, and I'm not trying to say this and hopefully it doesn't come off like this, but his setups are they're simple but complex. So he's only using a few props, and like you said, the figures that he had, it's limited articulation. But when you look at the photos that he does, you could tell that there's a lot that goes into the lighting, but there's not a lot to it, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he does a couple of behind the scenes, like photo slides. I want to pull this up. Can you just give me a second? Because I think it's one of those things you gotta see. We already saw, but I think it really helps. Yeah, I appreciate it, Ray. Like sometimes when I'm not good with words.
Maybe you should have said it in Spanish.
Well, Plasti left, so I was like, I can't do that. Right? He'd be the only guy that understood. Yeah, I didn't want it to come off right, but like, and they're well lit. You could just kind of see, but there's not. I'm switching so many jobs and buttons, but do you see? There's only a few props here. There's some. The main is like the lighting, the character, and these they don't pose that well, and so it's like, it's a simple pose. The crates in the back, right, are wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's very good at that too. Like their cutouts, that's amazing. I thought because of that, the way they look right there, I've seen guys do builds. Maybe it's these two, the carbon ones too.
He does a great
Like
job of
something
capturing
like
that style.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see it come full circle, and I know for a while he was shooting this, and I don't know what it was. It wasn't, and I don't know the backstory behind it, but it was like, man, why isn't he shooting for this company?
Yeah.
I love the rim lighting game.
I was just on Amazon looking at the McFarlane figures. I'm gonna have to try and resist.
Yeah. I think they're cool, but like I went in today to Target to go look for that Ryu for D, and when I went in there, I saw the Batman the Animated Series, and they had Scarecrow, they had somebody else, Freeze, and it was cool, but I just didn't like the cell shading, and plus I was like, do I really want to jump in this line again? But see, stuff like this, like see, it's just a couple of props, lighting. I remember he was doing this too. He was printing out cutouts before the expression packs, and he was putting them on here. So like, I'm not saying that this was, but it just triggered a memory for me. Yeah, if you go to his stuff, you'll see like it's some of them are very complex, but some of them are like this.
That's awesome.
Very easy. Yeah, very easy, very simple, light figure.
Action.
Yeah, like figure action. Yeah, so much. I always wonder. I was like, man, why isn't this company pick him up? And then, like I said, full circle, DC Collectibles stopped his line, so it's probably a good thing. And now he's working with Manda. But it took him a while, in a collection of like really good work. So anyway, that's all I had. We did favorites, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
What was your favorite?
I thought it was cool. My favorite? I'm not so CC told me not to say the C word, so
yeah.
My favorite I think was oh god, it's hard, man.
Terrifier.
Miles. Yeah, that one was really good. I like horror, and I was like, this is gonna be great.
You like what?
And I hope I like horror.
Oh, horror.
Did you thought I said whores?
Horror.
Yeah, I like horror, and I saw that one. I was like, man, MC knows like when they come for Spooky Empire, those guys have come. So I was like, man, this will be another one I could probably get signed. But taking the clown out, I like Miles. Just for the conversation we had, I want to see what they can do with it. That's the reason why I like it. I like the Batman the Animated Series. I'm just wondering how deep would you really go with it?
Right.
Bane, seamless body.
It'd be incredible, man.
It could work.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah. All right, we hit 237. Anything we want to lead out with?
Remember to help control the pet population. Please have your pet spayed or neutered.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Pressure. He's like, good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Enjoy your stuff. There's lots of stuff. Yeah, good night, dude. Oh, I took Ja's guns out. Ja, baby. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone that came and watched the show. And then if you're watching a little bit later, appreciate you. Appreciate all the All-Stars, especially my 2 All-Stars. Wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, especially my 2 All-Stars. But thank you, Brandon, for coming on, KJ, Plasti, and Darius. Appreciate you guys coming and making a great show, sharing your thoughts and everything like that. And that's about it. I guess we'll see what happens, right?
Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.